DW Africa Link.
We're also live on our Facebook page, that's DW Africa. So leave your comments on today's stories. You're also listening to us through our partner stations across Africa.
And coming up on the program, police detain demonstrators in Tanzania as they protest. Terrorism will not give up.
I urge people to turn out in numbers tomorrow because it is allowed by law. People should come to follow this procedure.
Also coming up, after Turkey-based Ugandan blogger and government critic Fred Lumbuye was arrested in Turkey, activists demand that he should not be extradited to Uganda, but the government says
anybody who commits a crime in any country whatsoever will pay the price for committing or breaking the law, including in Uganda.
And of course, we shall read all the comments you've been sending in on this particular story, so stay tuned for all the details and much more.
For now, though, let's go for the world's news in brief.
DW News.
And I am Michael Oti. Forces from Ethiopia's Tigray region have taken control of the town of Lalibela, whose famed rock-hewn churches are a United Nations World Heritage Site. Lalibela, also a holy site for millions of Ethiopian Orthodox Christians, is in the North Wollo zone of the Amhara region in Ethiopia's north. In recent weeks, fighting has spread from Tigray into two neighboring regions, Amhara and Afar, forcing around 250,000 people to flee. The African Union has started distributing 400 million COVID-19 vaccines to member states, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced. Several countries received the first of the monthly shipments today. The AU's aim is to deliver 25 million vaccines a month by January. Director General of the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, John Nkengasong, said COVID-19 vaccines saved his life after contracting the virus last week.
The announcement Mr. Masiwa is here making with respect to the 400 doses of vaccines is truly God's work in action, because it is 400 million lives that will be saved, just as the vaccines have saved my life. So I think let's take it very seriously. Without that, I want to be very, very clear, I will not be here, because even with the breakthrough infections, the severity of the attack is still so unbearable.
Member states agreed in March to combine their buying power and source vaccines together. This news comes to you from Deutsche Welle, Germany's international public broadcaster. France's top constitutional authority on Thursday approved a COVID pass that limits access to cafes, restaurants and inner-city trains, as well as planes to people who have been vaccinated or tested negative for the virus. The controversial pass, which will become ubiquitous from Monday, has sparked mass protest, with critics accusing President Emmanuel Macron of running a health dictatorship. Fabrice Zango has won Burkina Faso's first ever Olympic medal as he claimed bronze in the men's triple jump on day 13 of the Tokyo Olympics. Kenya's Abel Kipsang also set a new Olympic record as he reached Saturday's 1,500 final alongside his compatriot Timothy Cheruiyot, and Ghana's men's 4x100 relay team finished ahead of the USA to clinch a place in Friday's final. Hundreds of people in southwest Turkey have been forced to leave their homes after a wildfire engulfed the outer edges of a nearby thermal plant. Fire crews battled the flames, which were fanned by strong winds, and have now contained the blaze. Scorching heat has made southern Europe a wildfire hotspot as Turkey and Greece fight some of the biggest blazes on record. Thousands are fleeing as the flames threaten neighborhoods and resorts on the Mediterranean coast. And finally, Iran's new president Ibrahim Raisi has been sworn in following his election victory in June. His inauguration comes as Iran's economy is crippled by US-led sanctions, leading to growing anger among Iranians. The 60-year-old cleric is taking over at a time when tensions with foreign powers are Iran for last week's drone attack on a tanker near Oman. You can get more news and information on our website, dw.com, or on our mobile app. I am Michael Oti.
Thanks, Michael, for the news. This is Africa Link, reaching you live from our studios here in
right now, like Walusimbi, Kalyango Beka, Babu Kanatieno, Juma Walusimbi, Karen Katamba. You're talking about free Lumbuye. Yes, we have that story, and please don't go away. Just invite your friends. That story is coming up big time, live on air.
That's for sure. Let's set the ball rolling in Tanzania, where riot police detained a number of protesting supporters of arrested opposition leader Freedom Lumbuye on Thursday after a terrorism case against him was postponed. Party Chadema were arrested last month after
conspiracy. The case has triggered concern among rights groups and some Western nations about rights and freedoms under Tanzania's new leader, Samia Suluhu Hassan. Amnesty International is seeking evidence from the government to back the charges or release the opposition leader. Frederick Nwaka has more.
A woman is shouting, "Just kill me, just kill me," outside the Kisutu Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam as police tried to arrest her and several members of Chadema party. They had come to show support to their leader, Freeman Mbowe, who is charged with terrorism and economic sabotage. But because of poor internet connection, the visual trial couldn't take place between the courtroom and the prison where Mbowe is being held. Outside the court, Freeman Mbowe's lawyer, Peter Kibatala, said all legal processes would proceed tomorrow.
There
was ineffective communication at the court. All the suspects will return to court tomorrow for legal processes to take place.
John Mnyika, a politician from Mbowe's political party, says his party will not be intimidated by security organs.
I urge people to turn out in numbers tomorrow because it is allowed by law. People should come to follow this procedure.
Samia Suluhu Hassan took office following the sudden death of her predecessor John Magufuli. There had been hopes that Hassan would usher in change from the autocratic rule of her predecessor, nicknamed the bulldozer for his uncompromising style.
That was Frederick Nwaka.
And we have some of your comments. Tebuswek Xavier says, leaders are behaving like gods.
Oh, okay. Insurreco Gerald says, say no to dictatorship.
And Robert Mbasa says, the so-called activists are organizing demonstrations on social media, but they don't come out. Only fools get arrested.
Oh,
that's a tough one.
A strong one. Joy Tortoise says, this woman is developing ways like dictators.
And John Stephen says, Tanzania, at least they have some democracy. They have term limits. Economy is not bad. Even corruption is not like that of Uganda. Now that man wants what? Okay, now another big story of the day, Eddie. You remember on Wednesday, that was, our previous episode of Africa Link, we broke the news about a Ugandan Turkey-based blogger or vlogger, Fred Lumbuye, who's a critic of President. Many of you are commenting on this story. We are coming to those comments in a short while. Where human rights and political activists say, they're demanding that he should not be extradited to Uganda.
That's right, Isaac. Now, circumstances surrounding the Museveni critics' arrest are still unclear, but as a political case about the regime. Here's one post that he previously had. He actually announced that President Museveni was dead. Well, this is one of the reasons that the government are really eager eyeing him, more or less. Now, for more of this, let's go to Alex Jeter with the latest.
And
Lumbuye was reportedly picked up from the Ugandan embassy in Turkey as he tried to renew his passport. His whereabouts up to now remain unknown. Members of the National Unity Platform, led by famous musician and opposition leader Bobi Wine, also known as Robert Kyagulanyi, say that Lumbuye will not get a...
I agree with him on everything that he does, but we know that in as far as criticizing the government here in Uganda is concerned, he's been doing that. So our view is that, you know, if he's handed over to Uganda, he would really not get a free and fair trial. And because of
Lumbuye announced him dead, President Museveni ordered the security to arrest everyone who started the fake news.
Social media apparently has been saying that Museveni is dead. The security service needs also to solve that problem.
The Ugandan government is ready to prosecute Lumbuye.
Because of a crime he committed, then he deserves to be arrested because he committed a crime. Anybody who commits a crime in any country whatsoever will pay the price for committing or breaking the law, including in Uganda.
Some lawyers believe it would violate international laws if Lumbuye... Turkish authorities must follow due process before extraditing Lumbuye to Uganda.
Forget about the legalities. I think the pressing issue is the identity of Turkey as a country. It does not exactly respect rule of law, and that is where the problem is. It means if Turkey is what we think it is, then the respect for law will be complete objective of satisfying the interests of Uganda, because then it is not the law at play, it is political interest at work, and there is no limit to what could happen.
Lumbuye's followers have taken to social media, drumming up support for their blogger.
Alex Gitter with that report, and of course even on our Facebook.
Well, the live comments, I would say more than 50% of these comments are hashtag free.
You are calling on the Human Rights Watch to do something, and Wejo even saying free Fred Lumbuye, he committed no crime, instead arrest Museveni the president. Caroline Atieno, you're saying Gita Fred didn't announce the Museveni to bring Uganda is not safe. I mean, there's so many of them. Anyway, let's go to those that you sent much earlier.
Yeah, let's go to that, because I actually can't keep up with how fast these are going through. Well, Charlie Barongo says the old rebel is scared of anybody who comes out to criticize his leadership. Whether one is in Uganda or outside, no one is safe.
And Jeke Tejele Diomande says, Ancestor Museveni will make sure every Ugandan freedom fighter goes down to the ground. This ancestor of a president is just power drunk.
Mathaus Sitoye says, you can jail or even kill freedom fighters, but you
extradited. They now fully well that the country is being ruled by a dictator. Ugandans have no freedom of speech. Well, we had even that lawyer, human rights lawyer, saying the circumstances don't allow that kind of extradition. And we heard of the spokesperson of the National Unity Platform, that is Bobi Wine's party, saying in the first place, there's no extradition treaty between Uganda and Turkey.
So where does this stand? So hey, we appreciate the comments coming through. Keep them coming on our Facebook page, DW Africa. Isaac, for sure, time to read some of the comments during the course of the program. But it is Africa Link. Keep it locked.
past the hour. In case you just tuned in, you're listening to Africa Link program that connects you with the continent, the place where you find the biggest stories of the continent of the day. Once again, I'm Isaac Mugabe.
Once again, I am Eddie Micah Jr. Don't forget to connect with us on our Facebook page if you want to be a part of the show. That is, just type DW Africa and join the family. Talking about here, Papa's Kill Julius says, free Lumbuye. There's Remy tuned in Oktatu. The hashtags are just so many. Also, Daniel, Romans, Isaiah, thank you, DW Africa. You say, well, thank you for sharing and being a part of the show. All of you guys are very welcome.
Well, to bring to speed those just joining us,
I feel proud of myself having the marks.
Well, I don't see the relevance of marks now, so I wouldn't feel fine if I had a tribal marks.
To mark or not to mark? That's the question, Eddie.
I don't see one on, at least nothing visible.
No, don't have one. I don't have one.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that story in a bit. Trust me, you don't want to miss that interaction of Africa's youth on this particular matter. But first, let's talk about World Heritage, Isaac. Talking about World Heritage sites. Well, it's a natural or cultural site that has outstanding universal value approved by UNESCO. Okay, that's United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. But here's the thing, Isaac. Less than 9% of such sites are in Africa.
Yes, exactly. Many Africans feel there should be more. Almost half of a total of 1,554 sites are in Europe. Fewer than 100 are in Africa. So is the award too eccentric? That's the question. Or does Africa lack structures and political will to preserve culture and natural heritage?
Well, experts suggest that both are logical reasons. Martina Shevkovsky tells us more in this report presented by Mike Loti.
And Debola Kajulu. Welcome to the show, guys. Now straight to the issue at hand. Do you think it's possible in this era for females and males to just be friends? I'll start with Ozzy.
Thank you. To my side, I think it's possible for the males and females to be friends because we are living in let's say in schools, at work, you always find yourself working with people of opposite sex. So it is possible to have a friendship for males and females without any romance.
I'd like to hear also from Deborah. What do you think? Is it possible in this era for boys and girls to just be friends, nothing more, nothing less?
Yeah, it is possible for males and females just to be friends as per the research that was done by Linda Separdine, a psychologist from New York. She said that it's possible for boys and girls just to be friends as we all need help from one another.
Very important. We've heard that there's actually a research on the same. What about you, John?
It's 50-50. It could be possible, but there are also circumstances where the friendship has to extend into some romance, depending on maybe how close or that friendship has become.
How do you conduct yourselves when you are with these friends?
Actually, I think I'm better off having male friends than female friends because I trust more in the guys than in the girls. I believe male friends keep more secrets and they are more open to discuss like personal issues.
Of setting boundaries. How do you set boundaries when you are with friends of the opposite sex? Deborah?
Well, we set the boundaries by evaluating the health of the relationship, like the current state, and then we set some standards that we're going to follow so that we should not cross the limits.
All right, to my side, to my friends who are for opposite sex, in terms of boundaries, we said, let's say, involvement. I make sure that when I'm with the opposite sex, we are chilling in places that we can't end up in trap. And also, as my colleague has already said, that the standards that you set at first is the ones that determine your relationship, whether you will go further being friends or it will not work being friends. So in the first place, you already define what you are. Like, you're just a friend, nothing more.
Well, this report you just heard is by Martina Shevkovsky, presented by Michael Oti, which is not exactly... Well, actually, this report you just heard, Isaac, we're even confused now here because there was
the debates about Miriam Kaliza interacting with some youth in Malawi's capital. One can be best friends without, any chemistry in there. But now, let's bring you the real story. There are not enough cultural heritages in Africa.
Yeah.
And many Africans feel there should be more. Almost half of a total of 1,154 sites are in Europe. Fewer than 100 are in Africa. So, is the award to Eurocentric, or does Africa lack structures and the political will to preserve culture and natural heritage?
Well, like we said earlier, experts are suggesting that both are logical reasons, and we just heard that report from... well, now let's go to that report. Martina Shevkovsky is going to tell us more in this report presented by Mike Loti.
This year, 8 mosques in Northern Ivory Coast and Ivindo National Park in Gabon landed one of the coveted places on UNESCO's World Heritage List. That's compared to 16 sites from Europe and another 16 from the rest of the world. George Abungu is an archaeologist who served as director of the National Museum in Kenya. He believes he knows the reason behind this imbalance.
Convention was made in 1972. That is nearly 50 years ago. Most of the people who are sitting there drafting the conventions were male Europeans. So naturally, it's a little bit Eurocentric. It's a fantastic convention that looks at the, heritage of outstanding universal value. But the definition of outstanding universal value was Eurocentric from the beginning because it was being defined from there. So for African countries to go in, you had to actually prove a value that is seen from the lens of the West.
Criticism of the skewed view is not recent, and a couple of decades ago, UNESCO decided to include in the list, besides the traditional cathedrals, palaces and temples, where human-environment interaction is particularly interesting. This was meant to boost the chances of non-European countries. But Abungu and other experts say there are still very few applicants from Africa. UNESCO itself has identified the very complicated application process as one of the reasons for the problem, acknowledged Mechthild Rossler, director of the World Heritage Center in Paris, at a recent conference.
We see that for certain regions, we need to do much more in terms of preparing sound nominations and to enhance capacity building in general in terms of conservation and site management, preparing for risks because many World Heritage sites are under threat, and that is a huge task to undertake.
Rossler emphasized that UNESCO already supports African countries with donations from the African World Heritage Fund. But the fund, meant for a total of 54 countries, does not have enough resources for all, critics say. Governments in Africa face other problems, says Abungu, explaining that they need to boost the economy, buy vaccines and create jobs.
Why you have African governments not pushing for listing of their sites is because they fear that once the sites are listed, then they can't do any development. For example, parks. Some of these parks were made during the colonial time. People were pushed out of them. The concept has not been decolonized much. There are people who are pushed out. They want their land back. There are resources inside, like minerals and so on. But once you list it, it has to be pristine.
That report was by Martina Shevkovsky and presented by Michael Oti.
Speaking out.
So, Eddie, let's talk about tribal marks or inscriptions on the body by burning or cutting of the skin with a sharp or hot object during childhood.
Sounds painful, Isaac, doesn't it?
It does, of course.
Yeah, well, the primary function of tribal marks is to identify a person's tribe, family, or heritage. But as you described it, it can be a painful procedure that can leave behind permanent scars. It is quite common, especially in the northern part of Ghana, though.
But many are skeptical of such marks in this modern era. Our correspondent Maxwell Sook interacted with some Ghanaians to fish out their thoughts.
Starting from my right.
My name is Emmanuel Asaknaba. I am a teacher and the author of Shatter Sculpture. It's available on Amazon.
My name is Priska Nambomi Yenzi.
Education Officer for the Upper East Regional Museums, Ghana Museums and Monument Board.
Gifty Atampubire, a public health nurse.
Helen Lakmbe, a fashion designer.
And I'm Samuel Adagom, a student. I will first start with Helen. How do you feel having the marks on you?
I'm happy of it, being on me. And I'm proud of it too. I'm not shy. Anywhere I go, I feel proud of myself having the marks.
Helen, just hold it there for a moment. Let me go to Priska. Priska, this is a topic you can relate very well. What have you been noticing?
Tribal marks was one of the essential tools that makes us identify ourselves wherever we meet each other.
Emmanuel, you are the author of a book titled Shutter Sculpture. How do you feel if you have marks on you?
Well, I don't see the relevance of marks now, so I wouldn't feel fine if I had a tribal marks, or to say ethnic marks, even if you want to be euphemistic about it. So I wouldn't feel comfortable having.
Why?
I think that they have outlived their usefulness. Basically, the fact that the youth shying away from having tribal marks, it's obvious that those marks are no longer useful because we are living in a very globalized world and people are becoming much more aware and they feel that aspects of culture that are not particularly useful should be discarded. And, even if we make the argument that they were used for identification, I think there are various layers for identifying people beyond engaging in a risky venture for the purpose of identification.
Samuel, you are a student, and will you mark or you will not mark?
For me, I think every mark that is in a person's body has a meaning. So if the meaning is clear and it has a definite purpose and a definite reason, I will allow it. But if it doesn't have a reason, I don't think it is anything good to go by. Because marks are good, they identify you, but there are other issues that has to do with the marks in terms of the length of the mark and the decorative nature and how that mark is able to enhance your life. If the mark spoils your face, I don't think that will be okay.
And that debate was held in northern Ghana by our own Maxwell Sook. So now we have the comments. Do Africans really hate tribal marks? That was the question. It's a painful procedure, as we had, involves cutting or piercing the skin with a sharp or hot object. And we said, what do you make of this practice in this day and age?
And people are giving us the answers. Patrick Abel Nyadu says, I don't like the practice. It's barbaric and subjugates to dehumanization, basically.
And Aslam Tesla says, I love my tribal marks and I'm proud of my culture. A proud Dagomba boy from Ghana. Where's that region? In the east? The
northern parts. It's that region that does a lot of tribal marking, Isaac. Dixon Fowler says, we love it and we will continue doing it.
And Yin Bentil says, tribal marks and tattoos. Which one will you go for? He threw back the question to us.
Well, I don't think I want to give an answer there. But nice try. But Isaac, do we go talk about the comments we got from if men and women can be friends?
Exactly.
Can they be friends, Isaac?
They can. But of course, it depends on the culture, what it says, the religion, what it says, and particular regions and countries. But in general, they can be friends, and that's why they can be workmates.
Yeah, I have a lot of female friends. I don't think there's any problem with discipline, like avoiding meetings in hidden corners. It should be possible. Okay.
And Hanan Jerry Muhiyu says, make it clear from the beginning because I have a 6-year friendship.
Friends like that without having sex. Okay.
And Kadila Daban says it's possible just because parties know where feelings lie, then focus on uniting target or goal each other wants to achieve apart from other business.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for these particular comments. It's been exciting having all of you guys, lots of numbers today tuned in.
Welcome again to the show. We were expecting the show to be much more than that. ekikwatagana ne Freddy naye kirabika they just only briefly talked about Fred Lumbuye, and they did not give much update on our brother. Anyways, still we are getting the attention of the international media, so that is that's still like okay. Na yet tukyagenda maso. The studio is open for now, as I will go through the details on what they just talked about for those mwaba misinze kyebaogeddeko. Okay, kandabe. Yeah, tebaogeddeko bingi kubanga I think they only went through the comments. Bayise mu zi comments zokka kubikwatagana ne Freddy, and usually okay, can't I bring it to the top? Alright. Yeah. Welcome back to the studio. Nga bwe tukyanoonyereza tukyagenda maaso. So as far as it goes, kyebogeddeko kikwatagana ne ku Freddy, bagambye the only thing I've been able to capture from there, kyebagambye nti Freddy Lumbuye kati sawa zino as we speak, he's still declared I guess like a missing person or a kidnapped person. Kubanga as you saw this morning, actually this confirms even what our honorable said this morning, nti bagezezaako okufuna information okuva mu embassy. They talked to the Uganda embassy, so I'm assuming these are two officials, so it's Honorable Muwada speaking to the Uganda embassy, the ambassador of Uganda in Turkey, and he said, according to the information from the ambassador, they do not know where, or they have nothing to do with Fred Lumbuye, and they're not aware of him being detained at the embassy. So, what does that mean? That means Fred Lumbuye is either officially declared a missing person or a kidnapped person. I guess it's both are the same thing. And who would be responsible? The government of Turkey. If the government of Turkey had something that maybe they needed to detain him for, they would only do it in an official way. So the Turkish government, they have 48 hours to produce the person. And also, according to Pato, when he came out yesterday, yagambye nti bakebedde ne police, and police said they have not arrested or detained anyone under that name. Do you see where the story is going? Mukiraba kyegundi story gyeraga naye wali batusindikidde message eno mu group kansubire nti obubaka bwe batusindikidde wano mu group, it's a reliable information. Let me go through this message. It seems to be legit. Erabika nti ebadde ngeri legit, naye siyinza okakasa nti 100% nti the information we've just received is true. The thing is, okay. 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 It could be true. Let me check Muwada Kubanga. He's the one who is the shadow foreign minister. He's our shadow foreign minister. So any information that comes from him, and this information seems to be coming from him. If it is true, okay. All right. So less than those information has already reached, mwabatanafuna information, you can go to Muwada. Yes, I just this is very good that we have a very good team nti baleeta amawulire agari credible. Mbadde nga somye mu bwangu, but I did not realize it was actually coming from Muwada. But for those who would like to read it with me through as it says, we can go to Muwada on his page. The information is there right now. The information is there. He had just provided update on what exactly is going on with Fred. I have not read through it, so I will just bring that information here so we can both read it together as they said. Okay. There you go. So the information is here on the screen. Ngabwe mujiraba. This is a live information. This is an official account for Muwada, as you can see. Abasinga mwena mumumanyi. And this is the official information that has just come in. I think it's a long story, as you can see. And now we I can read it for you point by point. So for those maybe who might not understand English or might not, be able to read as fast as I can, and then I will be describing it to you mutegere chiche turiko exactly and what kind of information that they have on Lumbuye. This is like the updated information. So chitegeza Muwada has received that information from Honorable Zake and the legal team in Turkey. The legal team in Turkey, and also from Honorable Zake, who has already arrived in Turkey. So let us read it as we go. We have reliably confirmed from a trusted source within Turkish security that human rights activist Lumbuye is in custody of Turkish security. Ha! Mama, Katonda webali. Eh? At least we know he's not in the hands of the Uganda government, which we suspected to our government. Either it's going to end up in the hands of the government of Uganda, or he is going to end up in the hands of the Turkish government. So as we speak now, as Muwada says, from a reliable source of information from the security in Turkish, Lumbuye, he is in the hands of the Turkish government. Where does this put us? I will give you more or what we need to do after this, the same way we have been doing it. So what ekisigadde kati kwe kusavinga Lumbuye without having to worry about the government of Uganda. So let's read it through as we go. There is an intense effort by Uganda security to have him and 15 other Ugandans deported, even though Turkish authorities are reported to be making further investigations and have no formed opinions or realized substantial findings, sources indicates. So Fred Lumbuye tali yeka. They have 15 other Ugandans under detention with the security of the Turkish government. They have 15 other Ugandans. Balina abana Uganda abalala 15 who are under detention by the Turkish security. Naye they have not formed any opinions or realized any substantial findings, sources indicate. Ochiraba nti but they're under detention either for any other reasons, naye they have not formed a legal. So chiba kitegeza nti maybe they suspected the person to have maybe false documents or whatever reason, or someone yabalipotinze within the Turkish government in order to have them deported or in order to have them arrested. So they are in the hands of the Turkish government, which is very good. And okay, so ngabe tugenda ma, so I will try to explain it as we go. The Uganda government is reported to have sent high-profile security operatives, diplomatics officials who are negotiating with the Turkish security. Ngabe twabagambe. So now they have now sent high official high officials from the government of Uganda okugenda Turkey, to go in Turkey to see if they can carry out some negotiations with Turkish security. But how far is the negotiations going to go between the government of Turkey and the government of Uganda? The relationship between the government of Turkey and the government of Uganda is not something that we should be joking about. So what is left now? The Gundi Freddy Lumbuye, aside from other Ugandans, those other Ugandans, maybe they might have been arrested for having false documents and whatsoever, but Lumbuye being in the hands of the Turkish government, he has a chance of remaining in Turkey if we can raise our voice and show the Turkish government that specifically Freddy Lumbuye, if he lands in Uganda, he is going to end up in a torture chamber. Even the foreign minister because they're saying even if he has the false documents or whatever reason that he's being detained under the Turkish government, Uganda, he is going to end up in the wrong hands of the government of Uganda. They have sent, this is why they have sent high official operatives, security operatives from Uganda. So nsubira nti basindise bano SFC. I'm sure they have sent these, SFC and, whatever, so they can try to see if they can negotiate. And I'm sure the entire government of Uganda bali negotiating very, very high to see if they can actually get him back to Uganda. So anyways, ngabe tugenda maso. The source indicated that the investigation are centered on expired passports, immigration status, and have some Ugandans informer in Turkey squeezed and deliberately reported to Turkish security that Lumbuye is involved in multiple criminal activities to prompt his arrest, thus reported ongoing investigation. Sorry, sometimes I read very fast. The sources indicated that the investigation are centered around the investigation in Turkey that led to have Freddy Lumbuye arrested is surrounding around an expired passport, immigration status issues, and then but also some informer like the Ugandan informer. Uganda. This is in Turkey. Kiwandikibwa guna muwadda waffe kyagambye nti waliwo omulyalukwe abali olukwe abanayuganda in Turkey discussed as the or nga beekweka nga bagamba nti Lumbuye is involved in multiple criminal activities. Who is that person, or who is that informer, or who is that person who informed the Turkish security? Kubanga having an expired status or having an expired passport biki, it's not a crime. Ogoteguba musango. Nti babakwata, maybe you go through immigration buli kimu kyonna and then you go home. Naye ngabwe kiri gundi ono muwadda kyagambi. He says nti waliwo an informer within the Turkish in Turkey nayenga muna Uganda who says who informed the Turkish government yabaliddemu n'abagamba nti waliwo muna Uganda olondooza n'ateekamu amanyi agamba nti Freddy Lumbuye is involved in criminal activities. Who is anti Lumbuye ye kenyini nti he is involved in the criminal activities okiraba. So anyways, we shall find out who that person is. For sure, we're going to, or your informer, we shall find out who the person is once our brother is, secured. Anyways, Bagament is involved in the criminal activities. At this point, set up for Lumbuye, the speed used by Ugandan security and the foreign minister in pushing for his deportation and engaging Turkish authorities and security, as reported, visualize a possible state set up to have him deported at all cost. Okitegeera nti already the government of Uganda kana akazanyo bakabaddemo dda, they because you can see they first had that informer to inform the Turkish government nti Lumbuye ye kenyini abadde nga alina criminal activities that he's involved in. nti he has some activities that he's involved in. Kakati government ya Uganda yo kenyini, you can see nti this is something they have been building. Nti babadde nga bali mu kizimba, they have been building this because bwogamba nti passport ye badde ngeri expired. How long has it been expired? It has been expired, maybe for even for few months. Kulwaki the government of Turkey ezemu ebyo ebiseera when the government of Uganda had issued an order to have him arrested. So they used that immigration whatever because they know having an expired passport or having an expired documents is not enough to have somebody deported, especially when they are a political activist. It's not enough to have him arrested deported, especially when they know he's an activist. Now the government of Uganda exactly the same way we thought. They have added other activities. Lumbuye has been involved in other criminal activities. Where does this put? Depending on which kind of criminal activities, the Turkish government can say, okay, if it is true, then this person is a criminal, is not an activist. They can make him an activist, at the same time they can make him like a criminal. But how far and what kind of crimes has he committed that we have not even known about? If even the Turkish government should actually come out, these are the crimes that have been committed. But as we speak, because of the political issue, what ends up happening, what the Turkish government is going to weigh between the alleged is like a crime which somebody just what you are you committed this crime, but it's not true, so they have no evidence. In order for them to prove it, they have Lumbuye has to remain innocent, innocent even if those crimes are true. Even if those crimes are true, he remains innocent for now, up until they actually discover it is true that he committed all these crimes. So where does that leave us? So that leaves Fred in the hands of the Turkish government. The Turkish government, whether the government of Uganda likes it or not. Now, how far the only situation is it has to do with the negotiations with the Uganda government. Kubanga jukira the Uganda government and the Turkish government, balina friendship. Balina friendship in terms of business. Ate balina nebirala balina ebikoze ebibagatamu. So ekyo kiba kisigaza Fred Lumbuye okubeera activist, and we only focus on the government of Turkey to show them. So this is where our team comes in, because remember, fe tuli tactical, tetujja wano netwogera bwogezi, fe tujja wano tuli tactical, tumanye ekyokola. If we always have to be 10 steps ahead. Ti fe kye twakoze ku makya twakitegedde nti what is going to end up happening, it is going to be involved around a human rights issue. A human rights issue, that's when UN comes in. So Uganda abakitegedde abamanya ekyokola, era ffe twakedde okusindika ze Twitter okola ki contacting all these organizations like UN, like whatever, like government of Turkey, obategeeza kiki ekituufu ekigenda maaso. Because when you have these negotiations, if the Turkish government bwebanga tebamanyi ekituufu, nga tetubalaze nti Uganda, if you're in Uganda you get tortured, you can get imprisoned, bayinza nakutta, bayinza nakola ki, the Turkish government is going to go with whatever the foreign minister okero mumanyo yogondo alina gondi, that's they're going to go with the story that the foreign minister and all these SFC people in Turkey going to tell the Turkish government. So kyenkusaba, when we finish this live, or if we're still on this live, gwe goberera bye twetaaga tukole okulaba nti tulabisiza government ya Uganda within Turkey and in Turkey, and also at an international level. Nti bategeere kiki ekigenda maaso. Because if Lumbuye is in the hands of the Turkish government, Katonda yebale. kyekyo kye twabadde nga twetaaga. That's the only thing that we needed. Nti he is in the safe hands rather than being in the hands of like whatever Uganda. So ffe kye tukola bwe tumaliriza wano, we go and see what we can do practically nga bwe tubadde nga tuli mukola. Already group yaffe already balina be bali mukola. They are already tweeting, they're already sending contacting UN, they're contacting all the embassies, they're finding bali mu kwekalakaasa mu bitundu ebyenjawulo. So anyways, nga tugenda mu maaso now. Kati kino nga gundi muwadda kyayogeddeko. Now we remind human rights activists and defenders, be person or states and agencies, to pick interest in this matter as we are certain in being wrongly hunted for this. Wakiraba, I had not even read that statement okuva ku muwadda era ye kenyini kyayogeddeko agambye nti now nti kakati essaawa zino gundi focus muve ku government ya Uganda mugiveke, temufaako ku gundi ku Museveni bagenda okola, mufe ku ekyetaagisibwa okolebwa kati at international level. Kubanga bw'olaba muwadda agambye nti now we remind all human rights activists, bano bagundi ba Smith, Jeffrey Smith, bani bonna UN human rights, bani bonna. So this is where we need to take the next shift. Okiraba, if tubeera practical tetujja wano ne tukugamba ate ne tudda eri ne twebaka, we always need to be 10 steps ahead of this government. Era ne government ne banga batuulira already bakimanyi. So the next step, team yaffe abali mu kutweetinga, the next step where we need to focus nga bwe twakipredictinze, the next step we need to focus on the human rights activists nga bwe tubadde nga tukikola, the same way we did with IMF, the same way we've done it with protesting in the different places. Ndi tujja shifting agamaanyi, tugenda kujjayo agamaanyi tugaze ku UN tugateeke ku ba activist bonna betumanyi to give us the more voice. Even the Guardians, we need to go back to the Guardians and have now a global voice, and then also increase the hashtag Free Fred Lumbuye with the same picture chono musajja Khashoggi oba Khashoggi. To Baragenti, the same situation of our activist is exactly what can easily happen to this man if he ends up in the hands of the government of Uganda. So we are going to continue that. So be mindful nti kyetugenda okola okuzaako nti now Fred Lumbuye ali mu mikono gya government, ebya Museveni bino diversions bino ebya kisirisiru mubiveeko. Now twetaaga kufocusinga ku government ya Turkey ne anything that has to do with their human rights, to make sure nti Fred Lumbuye does not end up in Uganda. Kubanga the government of Uganda nga bosomye, they are going to try everything they can. Kati wanga basobola okozesa buli kimu kyonna kye basobola okola, kaakati mwe munaakola ki? Mujja tuula butuuzi nti tulinde we see what ends up like happening? Naffe we need to take actions, the right actions, in order to make sure nti Fred Lumbuye, kati luno olutalo, this is a war. Luno olutalo si byakutuula, kati wano olutalo wakati ya government n'abatuuze, kubanga government eri eno, even and the citizens are here. So we need to fight the government at the moment to make sure kubanga bwe batuwangula guno omusango, if the government wins this case, Lumbuye he ends up in Uganda, anything can happen. Kibagadde kyonna, anything can happen to him, because jukira, once you land in Uganda, there is no international coverage, for anything that can happen to you. So gwe obeera mufu bw'oba, especially ng'oli ku level ya Lumbuye, obeera mufu. So make sure omanyi ekyokola if you need to fight for your country. We have many people here on live temukikwata nga bya muzanyo. Baganda bange tebikyali bya muzanyo. If you have made it to a live video, bino si bya muzanyo. So anyways, nga bwe tukyagenda maaso, legally Turkey has no extradition arrangement with Uganda and is legally under international laws to attempt, if done, attempts to use discrete deportation in excuse for criminal actions within Turkey seems to be the setup being paraded. We must stand to denounce it. Exactly. Nga bw'okiwulira, nga bwe twakipredictinze nti the government of Uganda, I'm going to explain it to you this point because it is very important. The Turkish government bwe bagezaako, if they try okusindika Fred Lumbuye e Uganda, under the deportation because of the allegations of criminal activities. This is a setup until the government of Uganda babadde nga babisetinze dda okuva mu informers and those informers tujja banoonyereza. We can find as much information kati namwe ba informers babadde nga you were surrounding him, even you were going to find you if you know, because kigambibwa nti bannayuganda be bakikozeeko bebadde nga bakirimu. So what the Uganda government has done, they created a framework. Nebagamba, tujja gamba nti Fred Lumbuye, he is also involved in other criminal activities. Because they know they cannot deport an activist because an expired passport, ngatenga bachimanyi is going to be in danger. So the Turkish government, katisawas noweri, the Turkish government, bali mugamba, nedda, we do not want to get ourselves in trouble. But tebagala okwesuula mugundi mu bizibu. They do not want to get themselves in trouble kubanga baba mu deporting under alleged, like these fake, allegations that the government of Uganda is putting up, and then he ends up in torture, and then either ends up killed or he ends up in jail. Ne bamusiba bajja kubanga bakoze gundo omusango gw'amaanyi, which can even end up having them go back on the stage, on the world stage, nga babalabisa okiraba nga balaga nti Turkey, if you're in Turkey, never run into Turkey seeking asylum, because in Turkey they will deport you back, or they will hand you back to the government, or you will be killed. So at this point, actually Fred Lumbuye level jaliko, he might even extend to go further from Turkey. He might even request even UN, if we're able to get the petition to UN can easily nejja negamba nti ife tukuwadde visa ogende weyongereyo, ogende Sweden, oba ogende gundi ya mu America, oba ogende mu UK, oba ogende wa okiraba. So this is what we need to raise it to balage nti or why omuganda gundi our brother ali eno. The government is trying to form these fake allegations okulaba nti bakoze eki, okulaba nti bamusiba ne bamukomyawo Uganda. So please bw'oba otuwuliriza kati yesaawa ey'oku making sure nti we take action. Naye I am still reading through the actual states or the actual information, the updated information from there. So why would the Uganda authority insist so much to have a civilian deported at a cost instead of demanding foreign government to release him? This is troubling. Uganda foreign policy is strategy deliberate. Nature muada, I guess, like even at the legal team. But Gambi, why is it so important to see wanting to have like the government of Uganda fighting to see if somebody, if Fred Lumbuye deported? But lwaki bali mukiteekamu amaanyi mangi? Lwaki bali mukiteekamu amaanyi mangi okulaba nti gundi Fred Lumbuye bamuleese? Era naffe kye tuli mu kwebuuza. If his only crime is to speak against the government, that's not a crime. Nga kye twabagambye jjo, it's not a crime to criticize the government, ensi yonna ekimanyi. But the government of Uganda bo kye bakoze, they are trying to create like a legal frame okulaba nti bamuleese, okulaba nti bamutaddeko ebisangosango. Most of those cases, but kye bayinza okola, the way they can actually do it, kirungi nti tebafunye essimu ye, kirungi they did not have like his phone, kubanga the government of Uganda ngabo bamanyi, they can implicate him to say he was talking to some people nga abasindikira sente bagule mundu, balage ensi nti Fred Lumbuye abadde akolagana n'abayeekera, because those are the only crimes that the Uganda government knows how to do. Tebalina gundi crimes endala zibayinza omuteeka, tebayinza ogamba nti yabba sente oba yakola ki. The only thing they can attach to him is he has been sending money to some group in Uganda to go fight. He has been, insisting nti mugende simanyi nti mutono oba mukuba ono amayinja oba mukole kiraba. So all those ngabo manyi gundi government ya Uganda, but also the Turkish government. When we predicted how it is going to go, even the Turkish government, bachimanyi already they were in international news, so they cannot repeat to do that. Tebasobola kikola ekyo, they cannot make that mistake. Ochiraba. This is why actually he has been, even the Turkish government has been quiet about what is going on until the legal team, until batch confirmings or kuva mu gundi mu like ngagundi the shadow cabinet, the NUP. Kubanga the Turkish government those or also say they were only receiving the information from the government of Uganda. Nekati sawa zino nti zahake as soon as he arrived yazene story endala era kyobola banti bamaze the Turkish government amaze nevayo ne ba confirming. This is from Muwada bamaze ne bavayo ne ba confirming ne bagamba muganda wife fe tumulina okiraba we have your person na ye this is the allegations kubanga the list of the allegations ngabo biraba the government of Uganda was not going to show us and they were not going to tell us bandi bedenga bagamba nti he announced Museveni nti is dead bebyoka nete bandi gamenti wali was crimes endala ze committing simanyi biki kati kyengamba bana Uganda nti sawa zino the government of Uganda they are going to face the biggest embarrassment if they do not get to succeed in this case. If they do not get to succeed in this case, they are going to face the biggest international embarrassment. Bagenda bala bisa kunsi yonna wogeno kiraba nti government ya Uganda kati bagenda nakuswala as we predicted. Ngabe twaba government, the only situation that Fred Lumbuye is going to end up in that's best is a position nga ari mu mikono ya government ya Turkey, because if he is in the hands of the Turkish government has the ability to has the power to decide, and in order to decide they have to look at also their own foreign policy kubanga tebagala kudealinga ne government. If we can prove to them mwababera ku Twitter mwababera ku abali mukoza social media, so now we need to focus our energy to prove that the government of Uganda is not liable to hand over an activist who is talking about who speaks against the government. Obaraga okulagensi nti Turkey bwegezaako newayo Fred Lumbuye, even if the charges are anti-simanyi criminal bebali mukuleta. If we try to do that, the government of Turkey is going to have made the biggest mistake. Ochiraba. So this is where we need to focus. Vako kwabine bya government ya Uganda, vako abana ba NRM abali wano mu comments abali munteka maybe ekisirusiru mubareke abo tubaveko kati twashiftinze olutaro twalutandise dda because we expected nti rujja tuuka wano. So we need to focus on UN human rights activists. We need to focus on other activists that we know, Kenny Roth, all these international medias. Nti kyomanyi kyosobola to raise your voice. Now this is the time. This is not the time bwo mpuliriza kati si sawa ya kutura nti simanyi nti olabe live videos simanyi nti okoleki this is the time okozesa akasimu ko okozesa ka laptop ko no manya nti you are going to raise the voice in the right way, in the right manner, okulaba nti tukikoze nekiyita mogundi bulungi nti Fred Lumbuye now has been shifted into actually he should go straight bandi badde nga bamujja mu mikono ja government ya Turkey kati Turkey bwe banga teyagala obuzibu bande badde nga bamujja mu mikono gyabwe straight ne bamuweereza ku UN ne bagamba nti UN this is a protected person bakiyita you become a protected person. Who is a protected person? A protected person is a person who is running away from the danger of a government. Who knows this? Yani which story that sounds familiar? Museveni kiwala ata bwo mpuliriza kati you went through the same process. Ojjukira mu 1986 wakwate ekubo no duka. You are running away from Obote's government. No duka, no gende Kenya. Never watuke Kenya. The government of Kenya used to work well with the government of Uganda. No government bwena tuke Kenya, they are going to come and get me. Kati wagenda no kugundi ku UN office. You went to the UN office, you met a woman who is called Miriam Blackso. Your story to jajibaletera mulabe gundi connection between how Museveni is a criminal actually. So Museveni, he also went and ran to a UN, and then because he knew nti babanga ali Kenya bajja mukwata kubanga Kenya government yali ekolagana nnyo ne government ya Obote. So bwe bakola UN yamufunira special flight wamu ne family ye. Museveni bamufunira special flight ne mwambusa mpaka Sweden. Ne bamwambusa mpaka Sweden for protected. Kati ye Museveni nafuuka a protected person. Okitegera he became a protected person. Kati naffe twetaaga omuntu gwe bayita Fred Lumbuye. We need to raise the alarm to the UN, and UN, they have what they call the protective officers. But protective officers, yet sawa yonna kasitafuna gundi kesi nti waliwo politician oba waliwo omuntu alwanyisa government gwe beetaaga ate if he ends up in the hands of the government he might end up getting killed nti bagirawo omulundi gumu sawa ezo UN ejja nemukima. So this is what we need to focus on anything that has to do with the UN, anything that has to do with like a human rights activist, bamuleetere wakiri abeere mu mikono nga bamanyi nti either he remains in the hands of the Turkish government oba UN yo kenyini emukwate bamugambe nti okay, you are safe if they can bring you to places like mu America oba mu Canada oba some countries in Europe, and then become a protected person. Okiraba ye naafuuka a protected person. So the Turkish government as we stand tebasobola kola eyo mistake okukwata omuntu ne bamala ne bamu assigninga to the government ate nga bamanyi nti that specific person he is wanted by the government not because of his crime naye kola okuba nti the government mwagala nti lwakuba nti he speaks against the government. So the Turkish government, if any official from Turkey is listening to us, if you dare to do so, you're going to be making the most grave mistake. Okimanya kyatuka ku kono musajja we Saudi Arabia, so they cannot repeat the same thing. So baganda bange nze kyembasaba as we go ahead, if you're listening to us, you can minimize and find anything that has to do with the UN human rights and try to send as much information. Anything you can do. Ngabe mwekalakasa nga akalulu nga kakagwa nga tuli ku Twitter, tuli ku social media, this is the time kyetuli nokola. Gwano tubeera practical, tetujja wano okugamba nti ate simanyi weetooloole, simanyi okole ki, simanyi ffe tetujja wano n'ebyo ebisitoli ebitalina mugaso. Ffe tukugamba ekyetaagisibwa okolebwa. So if you can, bw'oba ng'osobola kwata ekubo okole ekyokola ekikwatagana ne ku human rights oba gomanyi oba if you have any followers on Twitter oba baani bonna gwe teekayo by'oteekayo to making sure nti the voice to raising the voice. Mukitegeera? This is what needs to be done. Ate luno olutalo bwe tuluwangula, if we win this war, government ya Uganda ejja kubanga beerabisizza nnyo tujja kubanga tubalabisizza kubanga they are going to try their best. Naye because Fred ali mu mikono gya government ya Turkey, kirungi kuffe, it's a very very big advantage nti ffe kyetwetaaga. Do not focus on the government of Uganda, kati focusing on the government of Turkey, tulabe kyetusobola okukola. Tulabe kyetusobola okukola nti the government of Turkey does not make any mistake neemu waayo. Okay, so katugende maaso. Okay, ngabo bagambe. Okay, okay, so I'm just going through the last part. It'll be accepted a request by Uganda National Police regime. New secure legal position within Turkey seems urgent and relevant, and we recommend they need him to secure. Okay, so they actually what they are working on. Ngabe tubagambe ngabe mbagambe mayinze ndi mubisoma bino nga sena, so I have not even read through like the entire kati gundi muwadda kye bali mukola, they are trying to see if they can actually find him like a legal representative, within Turkey, not just like the government of Uganda, because Yukida the legal representative abadde nga yavudde nga babadde nga batambudde ne honorable zaake okiraba Council Wameri, yes, namulabye nti he has already like Zake had gone with like our NUP lawyer. Naye because of the time limit, jukira tebasobola okubeera mugundi in Turkey for this long. Kati wache bakoze even the Turkish government now they need to find a legal representative to represent Fred Lumbuye within Turkey. So feke tuli nokola, we need to work also if pato bobo tuwuliriza kati, making sure you are the closest person to what is going on in Turkey or to gambe ekyetaagisibwa okolebwa. Because at some point bayinza ogamba nti lawyer oba representative abanasigala nga bali mu kugoberera eno case oba nga bagoberera nti we need to know what is going on the ground from a legal point of view. Okiraba kubanga the government of Turkey once they arrest you, they give you a lawyer. Some of the lawyers bakolagana the government, so you need to have like an actual very good lawyer, either an international lawyer. Katingono lawyer wa fe ona abadenga representing Bobby Wine. He might end up entering into this case. Ainzo kuingira mugondi mu case eno chiraba. So this is where the situation is. For those who have questions or interest in standing with the Lumbuye rights, I wish to be recorded or do you approve of each and every content of this audio statement. We still have public duty to voice in a sense of shadow government, especially. Okay, I also wish to state and okay, everybody it's the activity is going to be done within Uganda. The rest of the statement, you can go to Muwada, Honorable Muwada. You can go to his page. He's our shadow foreign minister. Nti yafako kubikwatagana ne gundi nebi ebyebwero kuva mu gundi mu nsendala nga bikwatagana ne ku Uganda. So he is the one who is in charge of that. So you can go and he will be able to you can go to his Facebook page and you can get as much information from there. Naye kati wetuli kati sawa where we are right now, bobo mpuliriza kati yesawa to take actions. Let me go through our group oba Masaba simanyo afande Masaba oli ompuliriza kati oli ku live kuba ku simu. Let me see if I can kankubire gundi afande Masaba yakiriko kati Ariwa. Let me try to call him now if he is listening to me. Okay. Okay, his phone isimi yayitamu naye nga takwata, maybe ayinza kuba nga ali busy ku mulimu. Ayinza kuba nga ali busy. Okay. Okay. Kankebereku. Let me check gundi team yaffe chiche baliko. Okay. So this is the statement. Where are we? The Uganda embassy. We do not team tweet the team amanga mumpuliriza kati. I think let's get away from the gundi no Twitter yani the Uganda embassy to veko gundi kweno embassy ya Uganda mu Turkey, because it's not as Turkish code accounts. Okay. Read the line. Okay. Waliwo my other brother, maybe he say he had already talked to UN. Kamukubire ko kusimu. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, we need to get as much information. We just need to be a few steps ahead of this government. Bokenyini, but not. Yes, brother.
Hello. Yes, brother.
Ori live. Before we go forward, mbadde njagala kubuuza wabadde onsindikiddeko message ekwatagana ne ku UN. Ki ekigenda maaso?
Mbadde nyina abantu benjogera nabo aba UN.
Okay.
And mwenna abali ku pages ez'enjawulo nga muli ku the spider web, njagala kubazzaamu essuubi nti amazima gali nti mukoze ekintu eky'amaanyi. Eyo force ne energy gye mutaddewo obwedda nga mutwetinga nga mu facebookinga kyonna kye mukoze mutaddewo ekintu eky'amaanyi. Mbadde surprised nnyo nti waliwo omuntu wa UN ankubidde ng'ambuuza ku topic egenda maaso mu Uganda ng'ali mugezaako kukonfaminga kiki ekigenda maaso. Mpulira it is really amazing because gaya ankubidde mu America ate nga n'erinnya Lumbuye abadde talimanyi, abadde like I see this name called Lumbu. It was really amazing. You know, the guy called me and it was amazing. Baganda bange bananchuka. You're really doing a great job. Baganda bange muri mukuru muri mugwamanyi nnyo. Mwena abali mu kutweetinga, abali mu facebookinga. Ambuziza one bwankubidde ambuziza one because he went through my page nakebera baganda baffe tuli ku pages nyingi nnyo naye ayise ku the news magazine n'abuuza hello my friend okay nti gwani ne mugamba ne munyonyola naye nga mbuuza nti nkugoberedde ebbanga ddene ate mbadde ndaba shows zammwe ze mukola n'ekyo ekiri mu Uganda ne muganda wange this is what is happening ne munyonyola byonna n'agamba the world is watching and we actually need more proof to see that we can talk about this issue. Kyabadde agamba nti beetaaga obukakafu obumala batandika okwanalizinga ensonga yaffe. Baganda bange twogera ku UN, United Nations, ono anyambye amannya ge bw'avuddeko ne mugugolinga mutegeera obuzito bwazitowa ne siyinza mwogera kuba ngambye tonjogera njogedde naye nentegeera obuzito bwe ne mumanya naye mu byonna byonna kyolina okumanya muganda wange wena comrade ali ku page kwonna kwoli mukozi omulimu gw'amaanyi muganda waffe Lumbuye tumulwaniridde mu law kasanda be DW Africa nge postinze ne manya katutandise kati ate DW wetaddeyo ne UN netya kuba DW bweteekayo batandika okwebuuza WhatsApp ositegeera baganda bange whoever is posting sharing commenting wonna wali post ekwatagana ku muganda waffe Lumbuye muganda wange tossa mukono the international community is really watching mbadde surprised nnyo ku ssaawa zibadde nga 11 ez'akawungeezi nyina bandi gyenkotaktinze babayita ba Justin 3 band eri mu Luthania mu Europe tubadde tunyumya nga tuli ku bya Uganda netebaddemu Lumbuye paka ombwa ngambye I see something trending in your country ngambye I see something trending in your country what's the problem Luthania nsi eri mu Europe twandirowoozezza mbu ebiri wano bayinza okuba tebabimanyi naye ambuuzizza ina kyendaba kitambula mu ggwanga lyammwe ekyekigenda mu maaso kwe kubagamba nti bannange kuba bakwano bange kwe kubagamba nti bannange oliwo ensonga etali ntuufu tulina munnaffe omulwanirizi w'eddembe yakwatiddwa ate tali mikono mituufu ne baŋŋamba okakasa ne bakola research eyaabwe oluvannyuma lw'eddakiika nga 3 banzire ne baŋŋamba eggwanga lyammwe lirina ekizibu naffe katukole ekyetaagisa kyonna okulaba nti mubeera free kulaki njogera bino baganda bange Lumbuye tekyali muntu buntu nti ali mu kazigo ke nga gwe oyinza okuba oli ewuwo owuliriza oba olina kava gy'olimu yonna gyonna Lumbuye tekyali ekyo Lumbuye brand baganda bange Lumbuye freedom fighter Lumbuye ayiddewo omubiri abantu bangi baganda bange nze ntiddemu nga ndaba international community etandise otegeera esigenda maaso mu Uganda ne ŋŋamba kati kambabuulire badde eno mu kava yange neesunako ne ŋŋamba naye ate struggle ng'enooze nnyo kale ate ku nkagamba mwe banna struggle naye mbadde mu kava neesunyeko ne ŋŋamba naye nga struggle enooze nnyo mwana baganda bange kye tuliko tuli ku mulamwa Lumbuye talina musango Lumbuye alina okuba free regardless of what happens naye ate kanneebaze president wange Bobi Wine Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu tatudde asindise zaake kati kambabuulire ebintu by'obukulembeze by'amagezi nnyo nti president alina vayo n'agamba nti ate ndagidde ono akole naye ng'amazima gali nti NUP tetudde esindise zaake Francis wenjogerera report nze ettaka atuuse kati atuuse ate ng'oggyeko ye enforcement y'amaanyi nnyo eri mugenda maaso ku ground naye nga wenjogerera zaake Francis atuuka ettake ku lwa president waffe Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. So gwaliyo yina ng'olowooza nti Bobi talina kyakola weetereeze.
Alright, muganda wange ng'omaliriza
ngamaliza.
Yeah.
Okay, ngamaliza muganda wange. Nja kwebaza bonna abali ku the spider web. Mwebale kubeerako. Naye nga kyenjagala obagamba nti international community yonna emanye ekigenda maaso mubeere bagumu temuva ku mulamwa to demanding the release of our comrade. Mbagala nnyo kulwa Katonda n'ensi yange.
Yeah, webale my brother. So omanyi kye tugenda okola ng'okyaliko waliwo ye namba gye ntaddeko ku live eya UN. This is like a UN protective officer contact number. You can call it. Okay, baganda bang, it's time for action. Mukwate amasimu gamwe. So the number you're seeing on the screen, number gyolaba ku screen ya UN protective officer contact number. Office eri mu America. The office is in Washington, and they are the ones beba deploying beba protective officers. Protective officers like UN protective officers are the people beba sindika whenever there is a situation of someone who is like especially looking for asylum in an urgent matter munsonga ez'obwangu. So we need to make sure until not only until we are tweeting on UN account mwabalina masimu. If you have a phone during otulabakat, if you are watching us right now, yiye simu tujitaddeko. We're going to give it maybe about 5-10 minutes mukube kweye namba kuba kweye namba nga the same way nga bwe mwakubye kugundi kwa zino zi embassy nezire namba ze twabawadde is for the Turkish embassy buli wamuwona. So kyemukola mukube kweye namba I think it should automatically take you to UN protective officer in the US directly kugundi in the headquarter mubagambe kiki kigenda maso. If you are in America bobanga oli mu US and you're in Washington, gundi offices are already they're like in Washington ate sawa obudde bukyali. The time is still early zikyali sawa mu US Washington ziri sawa musanvu n'eddakiika ng'abiri musanvu n'eddakiika asatu. So bw'obanga oli mu America, if you are listening to us ng'oli mu America and you are in Canada, enamba eyo sooka ogikubeko. Sooka okubeko eyo enamba and see what you can find. Nti every action, buli action kemukola temukazalawa kubanga tulina team eno bakola naye nga ogenda okeera ku makya nga kana akalimu kemubadde nga muzalawa kano ebya Twitter oba social media ate enkya n'okeera n'osanga nti waliwo ekikoze eki waliwo ekivuddeyo. Okiraba? So the push we put on gye twatadde ku government of Turkey, the push that we put on the government of Turkey, era nabo olabira ddala nti nabo kati kabalemye tebamanye ekyokola. So I ask you bw'obanga otuwuliriza kati either now oba ng'ovudde kweno kolo ofaako nnyo ku muganda waffe kubanga Fred Lumbuye he's a Ugandan. He's somebody who's fighting for the struggle. So ali akufaako bw'aba ng'abadde akufuddeko ng'ajjanga n'akuwa amawulire and he gives you the truth n'akola buli kimu kyonna yeesaawa naawe okole ki omusasule. Todda nga olinde bulinzi nti let's wait until he comes back ataddema tuwegundi live. This is the time naawe obeere kubanga abadde nga wasting nga time nti buli saawa bbiri olweggulo e Uganda ng'avaayo n'akuwa live amaze emyaka 2 emyaka 3 ng'aleeta. Kakati muganda wange naawe yeesaawa just olina okikola olunaku olumu omulundi gumu oba ennaku 2 n'odda ku mirimu gyo. You go back to your own job si nti ojja kikola gundi forever. Si kino nti it's a contract nti ojja kikolera emyaka n'emyaka. So eyo namba gy'olaba The number you are seeing on the screen, it's a UN protective officer contact number. Even you can look it up under UNHCR or jabiraba kugundi ku Google jebiri, you can find that information. Chetwetaga nti kwe kukubira UN or Kuramanti first, we already contacted them. We have sent them as much information ku kugundi ku their accounts, to their information. OHCR mena okay status. What do you want that deco? What do you want that deco link on Twitter? Kandabe. Okay, Kandabe. There's somebody who has just shared a link. Nenda account against ku. OHCR CA. Okay. It might be something useful. Katurabe. Somebody just shared a link on there. So hopefully chikwatagana ne Fred Lumbuye. Okay. Okay, human rights, Kandawe Office, Human Rights of Middle East. Webody. Oyo, the person who has just shared the link about what the link, kwatagana neku human rights, because Jukira, Turkey is in Turkey bari mugundi, they are in they account for Asia, so. But the main number I put on there, I don't know if there is Kumanga, it takes you directly to their website. I know in Turkey, the human rights people there, usually they're not as active. But the Twitter team, Bobo Raba, if you are watching this, please go to Tanike to forming information chikwatagana ne ku human rights kweno account gye batuwadde wali wagitadde mu mugunda awo in the comments, and this is a very good way to start, and we can actually look up even their direct information to see if we can contact them. So boboli wano, if you are listening to us, number gye tutaddeko, the number we have shared on the screen is the number that you need to possibly call to see if you can get through. But in the meantime, kambalage ono wali watu sindikidde linki ngeno linki ebadde ng'erina account eya kandabe. Okay, all right, yeah, can't you say on? Yes. What do you want to tell it? UN human rights. So this is like Middle East and North Africa. So because Turkey counts as part of Europe, Middle East in between. So Turkey is in between that. So Bobango Sobodi, if you can go to this account and you can tweet from there. You can send your tweets from there. Make sure you include pictures or take a bifananyi or take a kogundi story or making sure until you are giving them as much information as you can. But where information is on as buli kimu kyonna ky'omanyi ekikwatagana ne ku Fred eno si esaawa ey'okuddako nti simanyi nti odde ku live, simanyi nti okyuse, simanyi okole ki. This is the time to take action. Kati bw'oba osobodde, if you can please try to do what needs to be done. Kubanga the government of Uganda, bebanga bali mukwata ba officials, if they are grabbing some officials, high officials, just to go and grab Fred Lumbuye ne bateka mu sente, you might even find nti balina n'ennyonyi. They have like a flight ready to take him, a jet, Museveni jet, it might even be already seated at the airport nge erinda bulinzi nti ekoleki mukwate. So we figured twakitegedde nti it is going to end up this way. Kati ffe twakoze, we have already begun to take actions a long time ago, like since okuva gundo regular okuva jo, we were already like ahead of time, because twakitegedde nti once he gets in the hands of the Turkish government, bajja kubanga tebakyalina obusobozi obwo bwegundo bw'ekisirusiru okuva ne bakola ki nti bamukwate. So baganda bange, nze kyenkusaba kiri kimu kyokka. I'm only asking you one thing. This is the time to take action. If you have Twitter it's the time to go on Twitter and try and join your colleague. Weegate ku bakoligi bo olabe kyosobola okola. Add your own effort. Totuula butuuzi. We have been talking about this of some Ugandans nti bayinza okujja ate bamu ne batuvuma n'otuvuma kola okuba nti tebagamba nti muveeyo mubeeko kye mukola. And then ne mumala ne mujja nga mugamba nti free Lumbuye free. Kati goloze ekyo kijja kola nga tayina nga if you're not taking action, you need to be taking actions. Take actions. Do whatever needs to be done. Kole kyetaagisibwa okolebwa. Naye bw'onaatuula butuuzi n'olinda nti simanyi nti bijja kola ki nti bijja kola nga this is not magic. Naye bannayuganda kirabika mukiririza nnyo mugundi mu magic ne miracles nti mutuula butuuzi ne mulowooza nti kantuule butuuzi Fred Lumbuye ye kenyini he's going to free himself. Kantuule butuuzi just type simanyi nti kagundi ku Facebook mbagambe nti mumute. Facebook, the extent of Facebook does not go global. The comments zoteekako nti Fred Lumbuye, they do not work. They don't work on Facebook tebikola because it's just it ends up being there. You are not on a live video of like a Turkish government. If you're on a live of Turkish government and you're putting your comments, yes, naye bw'obanga oli mukunda bangonteerako comment simanyi nti free Fred Lumbuye mugano nga tebijja kola kwate kubo tukwate kubo, we go do actions. Wano tetujja kutuula simanyi this is a practical place tuli tactical tuli practical tetujja wano okutuula butuuzi nti simanyi tukugambe story like the stories simanyi nti byagala okuwulira tukwate kubo musululu moja sawa zino we are focused on UN. Sawa zino we are focused on UN. If you go on Twitter, bw'oba olina Twitter account, you go on Twitter right now nga bw'olaba kweno gunde eno account nga bw'ogiraba wandiika ekyo ekigambo mu Twitter just nga bw'okiraba the way I highlighted it in blue. It's art like art okamanya ako ka art noteekako OHC HR underscore oteekeko MENA which is MENA oteekemu ekyo ekigambo is going to bring you to directly to the account nga bw'okiraba waliwo ali mukuba I think it's one of our Twitter team yes nyabo
banaya Uganda eyo link gyentaddeko banetwangu tustomingeko like 1000 kubanga eddiira eyo eyokubiri tweets nyingi kati ffe tusitominge n'empe gye baakateekako so that wanguyiza ensonga zaffe kuba ffe tuli mu butuufu abantu bonna bali ku live muveeko mugendeko eyo link tusitominge tweets nga nyingi nga twogera kintu kye kimu free Fred Lumbuye Kajubi. Thank you.
Okay, bababuulidde that the link eyo link gye tutaddeko already bannayuganda yesaawa y'okustorming and I'm assuming nti some Ugandans muyinza okuba nga mwatuuse dda naye abatannatuuka mu join us olaba baatuuseyo dda ate gwe madways weebale ono gundi ono sojja waffe oyo musirikale waffe yatuuseyo dda tewali bya mizannyo nothing it's no time to joke around gye bali muveeyo baganda bange muveeyo abannayuganda already batuuse dda. This is going to send a notification yes gye bali mbalaba baganda bange mwebale okuwuliriza abo batuuse mugende maaso. Okay, already baganda baffe batuuseyo dda naye mwabatuwuliriza kati you also join us mugire mutuukeeyo ku gundi bw'oba nga weetaaga okumanya where to get bw'oba oyagala ofuna linki gundi we tuli already account bagisharinze naye bw'oba oli ku kandabe let me check team yaffe bayinza okuba nga already they shared the link on JB Muwonge. Okay, JB, this is the quickest way. We need only 100 to 200 people. Bana Uganda, goloza twetaaga gundi mwena bali kweno kugundi kweno live to make some change. Of course, kyandibadde kirungi nti buli omu ali wana atuwuliriza to take actions. Naye we just need about 100 200 Ugandans to take actions. Okiraba? Naye mwabali wana batuwuliriza if you want to join but abalala simanyi na kumanya kubanga simanyina kumanya. Anyways, the link is already tagged on JB Muwonge TV channel. If you go to let me move let me move it here kubanga nkimanyi nti mwena abasinga you are already on JB Muwonge si JB Muwonge main and ogunde ya main channel waliwo JB Muwonge TV channel ndoza I think this is where I am. Yes, I'm on a JB Muwonge TV channel. Okay, kirungi on a JB Muwonge TV channel or obe yali eyedda gye bayitanga JB Muwonge 2 gye tuliko. So for those who are on a JB Muwonge TV channel temulina kyemwekwasa. You have no other excuses to tweetinga okuva kweyo channel buli lunaku. We need at least 100 to 200 people abali mu kusindika zi tweets zamwe temubaako kyemwekwasa. Linki Masaba aliwa atekeyo fande Masabo baliwa yandibadde nga ateekayo okay gundi Twitter team muberenga musharinga muberenga muteekayo eyo gundi linki mugiteekeko mu gundi mu comments as many times as you can. Ahereza obabani muberenga muteeke eyo linki mu comments as many times as you can. Mugiteekeyo abali ku JB ba making sure nti bali mukola ki they're sending out their tweets from there. So if you guys can mukikoleko abali ku JB Muwonge TV channel for those who are watching us because we cannot share the link from like every pages. This is a spider web and we are connected to so many pages. Tuli connected to so many pages. Into tusangene walanda media, map media, wani tuli connected everywhere. So we cannot share the link for Twitter to every link. So what wuli zakati echinzo kwangwira. The only thing that can make it go faster is if you go to JB Muwonge TV channel. If you go to JB Muwonge TV channel, mu comments, we are going to have someone from our team nga ateka yo link. Ochiraba kandabe ira omanyi I'm on live. Let me just do it twanguye tucyanguize so at least muberenga temulina kyemwekwasa. So if you are on JB Muwonge ngofaako ku muganda okujjako nga simanyi nti muli wano kulwaki just kulwembozi bwoba oli wano nti ofaayo ku muganda wo jangu ku JB Muwonge TV channel linki ngenda kuba nga nyiteekayo buli kaseera. I'm going to be putting the link in there nti tekubaako abaako kyeyekwasa mbu nti ate simanyi I didn't see the link biki kati gwe ali mu wastinga time typing simanyi nti free Fred Lumbuye ku Facebook please ebyo mubiteeke bali yeno yesawa yaki nga gundi president waffe nga bwagamba this is the time for action si sawa ya mizanyo wano si sawa ya mizanyo. Take action, do what needs to be done, and we see because all we need is to take UN to have UN take some kandabe waliwo the courts of waliwo ataddeyo gundi kandabe bataddeyo links bbiri naye mbadde njagala tuteekeko eyo gundi ya UN kubanga Turkish courts kandabe tuliwa okay kankebere ku tiimu yaffe kye baliko. The president has said okay tubuzayo how many okay ate eri linki ya okay bana okay okay this is UN okay katulinde but for in the meantime mwabali ku live musigale nga muli ku tweeting. We just need to make sure nti we are fighting from different corners. So make sure nti you are tweeting on this account mwabali wona abatuwuliriza because what we need to do is to raise our voice abo abamaliriza otuwuliriza ne bamala ne badduka emisinde mwebala okujja mufuneyo ekipande ekigamba nti nze I am a useless Ugandan odduke oteme kubanga kati saawa zino it's time for action si saawa ya lugambo. So bw'obanga obadde ng'oli wano ng'obadde kweno live nga you were expecting to just listen ate nomala noddayo simanyi nti you go back and do your own thing mugana kwatayo gundi oprintinga ekipande okyeteekeko wambala ekipande then you go around ng'ogamba nti I am useless okitegeera kubanga yesawa ya action ate waliwo ebirala byemwekwasa this is the time kola kyosobola okukola. If you have like Twitter account, again ku Twitter account, if you know any telephone numbers that you can call, gezaako okube kwagamba sibu naye nga kyetulimu okufocusingako, or if you know anyone who is like a human rights activist, muwandikire, send them letters. If you know any MP who is usually very good when it comes to like human rights protection, sindika, write messages to them or labeki balina okola. European Union kyekimu bonna bebamu okujjako nti some they work with Museveni, but we need to make sure until we raise the voice together in order to make sure nti bakozeki they take action. So baganda bang, we are on here naene team endala bali mu kutweetinga mu kifo ekirala, so I will be monitoring the two places where we are tweeting from. Naye abatujoininze kati waliwo n'awalala gye twetaaga mugende. We have like another place we need you guys to go. Chiriwa eriwa waliwo enamba gye twetaaga mukubeko. Yes, this number waliwo enamba for mwabalina ebyekwaso simanyi nti you cannot tweet, tolina Twitter, tokoze eki. If you can kansubire nti oli mukikola, if you can try to share the number oba gwegezaako okubeko eyo enamba. It's a UN office, it's a protective UN it's a number for UN for a protective officer. They do what their job is to provide protection to the people who need help. Museveni yaita mweli ekubo teyegaana. Museveni akimanyi kye bayita UN protective officer. Ate protective officer wa Museveni bw'oba mwagala okumanya amazima, whoever eyasavinga Museveni, omuzungu eyasavinga Museveni, omuzungu eyasavinga Museveni, you guys do not even know the history about this woman. Mu 1986 omuzungu eyasavinga Museveni nga bw'olaba Fred Lumbuye nga bw'ali nti ne kuvaayo omuzungu n'agamba nti kankuyambeko nkufunire visa odduke otuuke ye Sweden owone government. Do you know her job since after when she was working for you, or since she met Museveni? She is ye ambassador wamwe omuzungu ye ambassador omuna Uganda omuzungu mwanga badde nga takimanyi ye omuzungu oyo bwe yamala okuva yadduka mu UN, actually yadduka mu UN n'aleka omulimu n'ajja n'akola ne Museveni, najja n'atandika okolagana ne Museveni okuva mu 1986. Kati okuva mu 1986 omuzungu ono bw'okebera profile ye, if you look at her profile, kambalage erindako mama mulowooza nti byakusaaga, mama mulowooza nti bw'oba if you live in which place, if you live in Belgium or you live in Netherlands, or you live in where is the other place, bachimanyi nti the ambassador, the Uganda ambassador muzungu mweze nsi muna Uganda naye muzungu ana Uganda nga kyokka nono omuzungu amaze emyaka n'emyaka ng'ali mu kufera banna Uganda naye muddeyo mu byekisirusiru yakoze zidiiru zizonna yatunda Uganda yonna omukazi ono yatunda Uganda yonna mu Europe. She has sold the entire Uganda mu Europe. Yeah, I think she's even like, she's so powerful. Uganda ono omukazi wa maanyi yakyasinze amaanyi. She's the most she's even ye yayamba n'okuyamba Museveni okuforminga NRM kankulage. Okay, Okay. Mulowooza nti okay, Uganda embassy in Belgium. Okay, it is in already. I think it's in Netherlands or Belgium oba. Mulowooza nti byakulimba. Okay. Okay, Belgium. I think it's because its main office is in Belgium. Yeah. Olabe who is your ambassador? Mwabera kawanga simanyi muri mu magunde ebyekyana kito simanyi biki. Aha, yes, maybe some people here mukimanyi, maybe some people abannayuganda bamu muyinza kubanga mukimanyi. Naye kankulage, let me bring it for you. Gwabadde abeeranga eyo mugundi mu byolugambo gamba bitalina mugaso, kankulage. Let me show you. Okay, eriwa. Okay. Aha. Yes. Omulaba. Oyinza okusoma ebyo ebigambo. Oyinza okusoma ebyo ebigambo. It's going to change. Linda kojja ogenda giraba ku screen. It's coming on the screen olabe. Bo aha, woyo. Oyo muzungu gwali mukumpuliriza kati. You who is listening to me as a Ugandan, that the person oyo muzungu oyo golaba. This is okujja konti tuvudde ku topic just katini nyo. Na oyo muzungu golaba. Ono muzungu ye yayamba Museveni mu 1986 namuddusa okuva Kenya. Yamufunira special ticket. Yamufunira biriko Google binasibiga. This is not my words. But you cannot find as much information about this. Ono mukyala yekweka. Naye ono mukazi ye yayamba Museveni. Kati nga bolaba Fred Lumbuye the position he is in. Ono mukyala ye yayamba Museveni okubuuka. Namubuusa okuva mugundi Kenya nga amukwese n'omukweka mu a special plane. Yamukweka on a special plane okuva Kenya direct mpaka Sweden ne family ye. Ne family ye. Kati gwe soko osome. Can zooming in olabe. Let me zoom in so you can read osome gundi bino byonna goloza nti ono mukyala wakugira nti wakusaaga. You read mwabadde nga abeeranga kawanga mulowooza nti byakusaaga. This like the enterprise Museveni yazimba kye bayita criminal enterprise. Ye yazimba buli kimu kyonna. Yazimba buli kimu kyonna ye amanyi. Kati gwabadde nga abeeranga kawanga mulinda nti simanyi nti gundi EU agenda tuyamba oba baani bagenda tuyamba mubiveeko ebyo mubyerabire. Ono omukyala okujjako nti we off topic saawa zino. Kati singa ono omukyala agwa mu mikono gya Fred Lumbuye oba Fred Lumbuye n'agwa mu mikono gy'ono omukyala nga ze nga yeekwese mugundi mu UN nga nanti jukiro ono mukazi kati saawa zino wetuli. She is the one who is leading the legal team okulaba nti Fred Lumbuye bamuleeta mu Uganda. This woman oyo mukazi golaba yakiriko naye sokolabe who is she? Sokosome she is sokosome bigambo accredited to the Kingdom of Belgium, the Netherlands, the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg and the European Union. Oyo yabadde yamaze emyaka n'emyaka ng'akulemesa justice mu Uganda. Ono omukyalo ono yalemeseza justice mu Uganda. Twakigezaako kigamba bannayuganda buli kaseera kigezaako kigamba bannayuganda naye tebaagala kiwuliriza. We even informed the team in Belgium ne tubagamba ono omukyala if you read her history nti yayonoonye bingi mu Uganda era yasinga n'amaanyi mu Uganda. Asinga yaliwo olaba sokuwulirize yaliwo nga ne NRM tebanagiforminga ng'ekyali NRA nga just balwanyi mu nsiko. Waliwo agambye we should expose. Twakikolako dda naye abannayuganda muddeyo ne mudda mugunde bisitoli by'ekigwagwagwa muddeyo mu by'ekisirusiru temwagala kuwuliriza amazima. You do not want to know. Ono omukazi if you need to know her history okay kamba we gundi eddakiika nga kamuwe eddakiika nga asatu nkuwe gundi explanation ezoono omukyala byamaze emyaka n'emyaka ng'akola. Olaba keesi bamujjukira keesi ey'e Congo, the case in Congo that happened in Congo. Nga bagamba nti Museveni ne Salim Saleh babba bingi ye Congo ne batta, and they have a case in still like pending in the International Criminal Court. Ono omukyala, she's the legal representative of the entire government. Yakulira ba lawyers whenever they go at the international level to represent Uganda. Naye okugamba muna Uganda nti amaze emyaka n'emyaka nga abonyabonya nga akuggyako gundi eddembe nga yimiriza buli kimu kyonna yono omukyala. Anything that has to do with the legal. Era kati sawa zino the high profile people bebasindise etaki ono omukyala ndayidde ojja kwesanga nga mu documents emyaka ejijja maaso you will find that this woman was already involved in Fred Lumbuye's legal dilemma. Kubanga ye bwogata Museveni nono mukowe ne baani ono omukyala yabakulira. She's the highest level in terms of like legal bwekijja kugundi ku legal information. She is the one who directs each and every single thing. This is not propaganda. Gena ku Google liri erinnya gye liri. You can read her name. It's Ambassador Miriam Blackso. Muyinza kubanga abamu mwabirabako eno naye abannayuganda kayita wano ne kayita eri kayita wano ne kayita eri oli wagamba nti okay tujja kusoma gundi zi comments oluvannyuma. We're going to go through the comments oluvannyuma. Naye what I'm trying to show you nti the power of these people as a muzungu amaanyi galina gasinga bonna abali mu kibiina kya NRM. She was even there on the day of swearing in. Simanyi nti bino fake swearing in Museveni byakola. Ono mukyala muyinza okubanga mwamulaba n'omulaba muzi video ne mwewunye ne mugamba ye anono mukyala gwendebe kugundi nga ze ku lunaku olw'okulayira ng'ate nga they had not even introduced her. She's a Ugandan. Oyo golaba ne emikono gy'abazungu buli oyo muna Uganda. If you find her oyinza sanga nerinya maybe gundi nakibinja simanyi biki oyinza sanga nerinya yakyusa bukyusi nga liteeka mu linnya erya Uganda. But anyways, how is it important? If Fred Lumbuye finds himself in the hands of this woman, that's it. Olonga kiwedde olongo manya. Anyways, nga sinagenda wala, I do not want to get distracted for today's topic. Naye if you are interested to know more, amanya ge gaago, those are her name. Oba bobo yagadde kumanya, just type in the Ugandan ambassador to EU. Ye ambassador wa Uganda ku EU. Kati gwe weebuze ku lwaki EU yasirika, ku lwaki weebuuza nti ensi zino ez'ebweru zonna ku lwaki zaasirika nga tugamba banna Uganda. I told them ne tubagamba nti almost like 4 or 5 months ago ne tubagamba nti gaagala amakubo Museveni ge yakwata. He has built a strong whatever communication from Africa all the way across Europe. Era chubola baye kati yefula ngaki nga tonkwatako. Naye the more we expose these people, the more we show them to the world. Nentubalaga bana Uganda nti biki bakola. Of course she might be doing it not in a crime way, naye because she ends up having to protect the government of Museveni as they continue to commit those crimes. She also becomes part of the criminal entity. Wachiraba? Yeah, no, Twitter, they visited her Twitter account. She doesn't ono muchala ye kweka. She does not even have an official Twitter account. Yaringa ajirina, when we researched, yaringa ajirina na yakoma mu 2014 over 2015 over 20D ye yakomo gikozesa. Ye kweka kubanga amanye bikyamu, amanye abantu bakolera. She knows the people she works for babinyo. Kati ye kweka. If you go to Google and look up her name, erinya ngabo oliraba, there is only few things that ojja kulaba ku Google. Erinya ye Miriam Blackso bitini nyo. Just a few things you're going to find about this woman. Na ye akimanyi. Kubanga ono mukyala. Olaba misango gye tulina kankugambe gundi the history of this woman. Amanya ge gago gye gali gagano waggulu wano oli wali mukubuuza Faruku gwali mukubuuza. Here are the names. Ambassador gaga amanya Miriam Blackso. Kanchi wandike ne wano mugundi mu comment ya kaniteeke ko wano mu comment. mukyala wuyo ogenda n'okugugu oyinza omusangako gundi amanya ge naye there like gundi ahereza teekako amanya ge ku gundi okay I think I can do it. Yeah, I can write the names on here netugamba bannayuganda muveeyo. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Really, I think somebody else already knows her. But if you did not have Uganda and you're watching this live video, kubanga muri banje abali mugiraba. Oyo mukyala ye kafuru ye gunde go baita Museveni wabanga ali neki kyamu kyakoze. He only runs to this woman because this woman she's connected. Okulaga nti she's connected. It's the same ngabo oyinza okubira UN. Tugambe nti Fred Lumbuye nakubira UN n'abakubira essimu n'abagamba nti wayini nawo obuzibu government ya Uganda banoonyereza. It's the same place nti Museveni gyayiseemu kati ye n'amala ne bamala ne bagamba why okay kale tujja sindika owa UN protective officer ajje akukime akuprotecting. Kati ye Fred Lumbuye bwamala okumitinga gundi ono wa UN kati ye n'amala ne bafuuka ba mikwano kati bamala ofuuka ba mikwano and then when Uganda is free nga Fred Lumbuye akomyewo Uganda ono nasigala nga ali connected nono omukyala okuva kati kye kyatuuka ku Museveni when Museveni was being wanted by Obote government kye yakola UN yamuwa protection kati yamala omuwa protection n'amala n'adduka n'agenda Sweden olwo n'amala n'amiitinga ono omukyala yamuwa obuyambi era ne basigala nga bakolagana. Ono omukyala yakulira buli kimu kyonna abadde akulira gundi international schools international schools in Uganda. She is the one who is in charge of like the victims at ICC. If you are in northern Uganda, if you're from northern Uganda, and there was you've watched that genocide that happened, or the hidden genocide or brilliant genocide, the victims from the genocide by Museveni, she is the one who is like she represents the victim at ICC. Ya representing the victims at ICC. What else does she do? She is the legal representative of the Uganda government at ICC. You are representing the government of Uganda at International Criminal Court. So, welcome to my field. Cheche kyatuka kugundi kweno kese eye kasese. Omanye kyatuka ku kese eye kasese. Bano bebatta eye kasese. This woman, boom, she was there. Cheyakola, she even threatened the lawyer. What lawyer, but won't put it in a video. It's going to go around and one day it's going to find its way. Fred Mukasa, who was representing the case for Kasese or whatever that happened in Kasese. Where is he now? Ali stuck in Netherlands. Omusajja watu he stuck in Netherlands because ono mukyala yajjabuzi namusanga ku ICC ku office ya ICC. See, not anywhere else. Ono mukyala yamusanga ku office ya ICC in Geneva and told him yamugamba bugambi bwogezaako n'okoma we Uganda, if you dare to come back to Uganda ojja kuba ng'owedde. Ono mukyala kenyini bidiwa where do you find that information? Genda obirabe typing amungundi Fred Mukasa, the lawyer or representing the Kasese people. The only issue Ugandans okusoma okunonyereza information byabula naye you can find that information jebiri on just quick easy. Fred Mukasa ojja kulaba the victim of Kasese ono mukyala, the lawyer who was representing those victims, ono mukyala yamusanga ku ICC office. Omayiche yamugamba bugambi nti ogezeeko tuuke Uganda ojja kulaba. Kati oyo lawyer he's stuck in Netherlands, tasobola kuvaayo. He cannot leave Netherlands, ali stuck in Netherlands. We are going to come back with another series to go through, this whole thing of like how Museveni is connected to everything. So, ono mukyala, temulaba nti wagundi wa muzanyi, ono mukyala wa amaanyi. Abadde nga ya training aba Oranya, ya training abani, abadde akolagala. Ne buli kimu kyonna, buli gombanyi yenna, whoever you know is powerful in Uganda, this woman is connected to them. Alina ebyobugagga yatunze Uganda era kyobolaba nti zino ensi zonna Netherlands, Belgium, bani bonna era kyobolaba bonna ezo ensi zonna tezaavaayo to even like you say, the human rights abuse going on in Uganda. Basirika busirisi because of who? This woman. Never na Uganda, even to try to direct the Ugandans where the problem is. Bagamba simanyi bichi ngolwasooka twabireta no bireta abasinga bali nga tebakimanyi nga bagamba nti yo diversions bichi genda noonyereze ate diversion ne kugundi ne gundi media zinazo zirimba ono mukyala yekweka. The first thing that comes up bonoonyereza erinnya is the document from ICC with her profile byamaze emyaka ng'akola mu Uganda, everything that she has been doing in Uganda gwe noonyereza. Boboloza anti nkulimba. Let me open up quickly. Maybe you think it's a lie. Kanonyerezeko, and then we go back to Muramwa. Tukyali ku Muramwa temuva ku Muramwa. You guys keep tweeting on JB Muwonge. The link is already the link is pinned at the bottom. The link is pinned at the bottom, so make sure you are tweeting. Okay. All right, anyway. I'm going to be coming back to check on everyone as we tweet. So temunimba nti simanyi bichi. So let me increase this. Let me see if I can see it properly. Let me move it. Okay, here. Okay. Alright. Mubeera ngeeyo nga mulowooza nti byakusaaga. These are the people who run our country. Naye ffe tubeera eno nga tuzanyaazanya, simanyi byakyana kito, simanyi byaki. Okay. Okay. Liri Erinya. That's the name. That is her full name. Ngawe muliraba. Liri Erinya. The name is at the very top. Ngawe muliraba. Exactly. Liri Erinya. Here is the name. Gobaita Miriam Blackso. Omukyalo oyo. Golaba. Ngawe muliraba. Like the same way you seeing the name. That's what it is. At I think ndozalinga alimu kugira. She was filing her case or her information at ICC, and what does it say? Ekyo kyolaba kino ekisooka. Ekyo kyolaba. What does it say at the very top? Miriam Blackso nga bw'olirabye ku gundi ambassador, naye kiki kyegamba? Uganda nominee for election to the board of directors of trustee funds for the victims of the International Criminal Court. Do you see? Do you read it that? The Uganda nominee for election to the board of directors of trustee funds for the victims of the International Criminal Court. Any victim for Uganda, she is the one who controls the money. The ICC were deciding and the government okay, the victims to Jabawayo innocent or no muchala, she is the one who represents them. Na ye bogoberera ekyatuka mu northern Uganda. Those who are from northern Uganda who are listening to me, they already know that the genocide that happened in northern Uganda, UPDF had hands in it. UPDF eringa ekirimu. Na ye era bakikyusamu ne bafunamu sente. Anyways, you can read all her, emirimu gyakoze buli kimu kyonna. Naye this is what is important. Mu mwaka from 2012, what did she do to present? From 2012, kiki kyabadde nga amaze akola? Ambassador and to the ambassador to Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg and European Union. Mpaka kati. Okuva mu 2012 omuzungu yabadde ali ku representing. She's the one who represents you at the in Belgium, in Netherlands and in European Union. The other countries, it's not important. What's important is the European Union. Omukyalo wa NRM haddiko wa eyazimba Museveni. She is the one who represents you at the UN. Okitegera? At the European Union. Kati gwe weebuuze ku lwaki European Union, EU babadde nga beereeyo nga basirika nga bakola kigwe n'olowooza nti byakusaaga. Okay. Now, this is where even it becomes more interesting. Okuva mu gundi mu 2023 until 2012 nga tebanamufuula ambassador. She was she was representing Uganda in all legal institutions, including International Criminal Court. From 2003 up to 2000 whatever, she was the one representing all legal institutions, including all legal institutions representing Uganda. Ntikati now, even though she might not be representing Uganda, she might be the advisor for all the lawyers of Uganda at international level. In the case of Fred Lumbuye, he's going to end up in the hands of this woman. I think she's very, very well connected with the UN. Ono omukyala w'amaanyi ali connected with UN. Tewali kintu ekikwatagana ne UN ono mukazi kyatamanyi. She knows every single thing around the UN. So gwatuwuliriza kati bwe tukugamba nti muveeyo tukole kye tukola nti tuddeno. It's not because we're joking with you. We're giving you the front line information. Information is wetaaga okumanya. Va mu abino ebyolwali, va mu abino ebyekisirusiru, va mu abino ebyekidongodongo. This is the information you as a Ugandan that you should actually be getting informed with. Okitegeera? This is Okay, and biliwo ebirala information biki ebirala during university legal associates, okay, transfer technology investment, legal marketing, representing Kenya. Yakola emirimu mingi. For those who want access to this document, if you need access to this document, it's very simple. Go and type her name and it is going to be the first thing that's going to come on Google. Gwegendo tekeko erinnya bw'oba olowooza nti nkulimba. If you can read and write. Where was she born in the first place? She was born in Netherlands. Yazaliwa Netherlands, but what's her nationality? Ugandan. Revoked her Dutch nationality. She's no longer a Dutch. She is a Ugandan. Muganda. Muganda yinza sanga nga bwe nagamba nti erinnya yinza sanga yalikyusa ye babiri ye oba simanyi gunde maybe you're choosing okubeera musoga. Nobody knows. Kyolina okumanya nti she is the most powerful woman in Uganda. Kikirize kiganda. So if you want access to know this information, gwegenda ku Google, you will find it. Her name is Miriam Black. So ono mukyala ye mukyala ow'amaanyi mu Uganda. Va kwabano simanyi nti Nabbanja baani ono omukyala yabafuga. Va kwabano ba Oranya ono omukyala yabafuga. Va kwabano boolaba nti baani bonna ba lawyers abajja ku gundi bali presenting Uganda ono omukyala yabafuga. This is the woman who controls everything. This is the woman who is behind, you see the entire structure of NRM? The entire structure of NRM, ono omukyala yali mabega okuzimba eno NRM nga bw'ogiraba from scratch to where it is right now, from local level to international level. Yakuba bukubi esimu. She called just a few, people in UN and NRA, which was just, a Bush, fighting people group. Nebagikyusa nefuuka an official government, nefuuka gundi an official government recognized body. Talina waliwo abali mukubuza nti what's her Twitter. She has no Twitter. Ono omukyala yeekweka bannayuganda temumumanyi. Bannayuganda ono omukyala temumumanyi. Abasinga temumumanyi, tumadde nga temumanyi nti omukyala acontrolling alwaninga buli kimu kyonna nti y'ono omukyala. Kale singa yandibaddemu n'akooluganda nti yazaalibwa Uganda, most Ugandans would have known who she is. Mwandibadde nga manyi nti ye Kadaaga, yandibadde gundi baani bano abakyala bonna baavaaka bali ba minister, baali baani, mwandibadde nga mumumanyi. But because her job, omulimu gwakola gwa maanyi, ono omukyala government emukweka. Bino si bya propaganda nti nze nkulimba, nze sijja wano okuwa propaganda muganda wange. Uganda, I love my Uganda as much as you love your country. Okitegeera? Naye nze mbanga nina okumakinga sure nti I am always ahead of time. Nina okubeera maaso. Bino si bino ebyakujja mbuno nti ate simanyi walawala, bino ebyavolongoto simanyi nti biki. Nze ebyo tobi, you cannot sell me those. Simanyi, I don't even know how I can call it. Naye I try ngezaako okinnyonnyola nti n'omuntu ono wa wansi gwali wansi. You understand what we are dealing with, the government we're dealing with. Kubanga ono omukyala Fred Lumbuye bagwa mu mikono gy'ono omukyala, with how she is connected, with how this woman is connected. Omukyala akuba essimu omukyala akuba essimu omulundi gumu just bwe bati UN ne recognizing NRM ne bagitandinga into NRM gunoloza nti tebasobola okola gundi kye basobodde kyonna okulaba nti Fred Lumbuye atuuze naye bwe tukugamba nti gezaako we do each and every single step that we needed to do naye bannayuganda Deyo newebaka era ino omukyala she's even responsible okubeebasa kubanga you know she might even have found ways to you know okubasuula mugunda ebirwadde ne mwebaka bwebasi ne muddeyo nti abasinga waliwo munnayuganda kati waliwo munnayuganda kyemanyi waliwo munnayuganda kati who is just getting surprised abadde nga takimanyi nakimanya ng'alina emyaka 3 emyaka 4 emyaka 5 you listening to us live ng'olimu egyo emyaka naye ng'obadde nga takimanyi nti since 1986 nti since 1986 waliwo omukazi abadde amaze emyaka okay bwoba olowooza nti nkulimba nti it's not since 1986 sooka osome the time when she joined the Uganda government biriwa 1985 okiraba biri byembadde nkugamba ene enamba gye tutaddeko eyo enamba gye tutaddeko eya UN nga mbagamba nti tukube kweyo enamba we tell them the streets bweba nga tennatuuka sooka osome in 1982 to 1985 tekiraba legal associate protection officer okiraba eyo enamba gyolaba the legal associate protection officer with UNHCR okitegeera UNHCR ono omukyala gye yali ng'akolera that's how she ended up protecting Museveni okuva mu Uganda mpaka eriwa mpaka n'agenda gunda eyo side zaawa mpaka Sweden namwepika mpaka Sweden sorry ninawo abagenyi waliwo abagenyi benina but yeah temukifaako musigale nga muwuliriza anyways tuve ku ekyo aliwa so this 1980 so kitegeeza nti kekadde ke yasisinkana ne Museveni 1985 in 1985 ule yasisinkana Museveni kati namuyamba namubuusa mpaka Sweden. This is information you guys need to know. Bolaba kirungi ICC bagoberera. So ICC bagoberera buli kimu kyonna. Balina okuva mu 2000, balina okuva mu gundi mu 2003, 1985. Legal meeting, marketing, consultant, opening. Yagulawo gundi business mu Kenya ne Uganda ne Sudan. Alina, if you in Kenya, in Sudan and whatever, ono mchala badengari ndoza chalina nezi business. She was the head of the, actually, olaba, visit Uganda. If you think this is bya muzanyo, visit Uganda. Ono mchala ya chirima bega. Ya tunda Uganda mu nseze za Europe ense zawa yakola buli kimu kyonna kyebayita visit Uganda kaye kyubula mulina abazungu bangi bomusanga eno ng'omusanga nti omugamba nti tulina community abadachi balina business abagermany balina business ono mukyala yenanyininzi bino byolaba gundi ono muzeyi Museveni bo bamutunda dda naye Museveni bamwetaaga era kyoboolaba nti ensi zaawa zino ensi za mu Europe bwe twali nga tumuli when we were protesting era kyoboolaba they did not do anything kulw'abantu because of this connection from these people nti nga gundi ensi ya Uganda bagitunda dda abazungu bagigula dda kyokka no president waffe Bobi Wine asiiba bagamba ensi yamwe bagitunda nga mukanudde naye ne mulowooza nti byakusaaga bagitunda dda bw'oba olowooza nti byakusaaga sooka osome history eriwa gundi eriwa ekigamba alina gundi she's ali part of a business club in Europe ono mukyala ali part of a business club in Europe nga yabagaga va kwa bino yabagaga benyine batudde eno waggulu and then nekirala ensi zaabwe bw'oba oyagala okulaba nti the way they are connected you see these three zino ensi ssatu that she represents Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. Omanyi how much percentage zebalina in terms of IMF? They own almost 5%, but in 5% of the money from IMF. Which take it, so 5% of the investment in IMF bano bebakozeki bebana nyini sente kubanga the other 15% is the American who owns it. The 5% is owned by these 3 countries. Ngono omukyala yali presenting ezo gunde zensi. So kiba kitegeeza nti sente za IMF kikirize oba kigane zirina okuendinga mu mikono eja government eye Uganda. Bwe bato bwe basigala nga bali mu kugula buli ebyobuganda naye bagenze okulaba nti we byatuuse ebyettaka bye byatuukidde ono byatuukidde nti Uganda yo kennyini tekyalina ebyobugagga bingi ebisigaddewo that IMF eyinza ogamba nti katubaweeyo zino sente tukwate bino ebyobugagga. Era kyoboolaba bali mu kulwana kulwali nettaka eriri mu central ettaka lya Gunde mu central erya Buganda where the business and the government and buli kimu gyekiri nti byebyo ebyobugagga Uganda byesigazizza era kyoboolaba byonna byetoolodde buli kimu kyonna. So IMF ekuwaayo amabanja naye tosobola gasasula ne bamala ne bakwata ebyobugagga oba ne bagamba nti kola Gunde eno company gikole ebeere private, kola eno company ebeere private, nti ow'amasanyalazi ebeere company evudde Europe, ow'amazzi ebeere company evudde mu Netherland. Ebyaki era kyobola bajja zuukuka nga byonna abazungu bakoze eki be bananyini byo naye ku kyetaka byabalemye era byaganye era kyobola nti we tutudde kati wow. Muganda wange abadde ayagala okuwuliriza amazima, waliwo ekirala kyoyagala okuwuliriza mu bizibu ebikwatagana ne Uganda? Va kwa bino oli bajja simanyi nti naakubulira bino. This is a history of your own Uganda okuva bwe yatandika mu Gundi nga Museveni ayingidde mu bukulembeze mu 1986. Waliwo ekirala kyayagala okuwuliriza? Kati where does this connect? Ono omukyala aconnectinga wa ne ku Gundi ne ku Gundi ne ku kya Uganda gye tulimu kati nti ono omukyala yakyasinza amaanyi ate yakyatudde mu ntebe ey'obwa ambassador mu Gundi ku Gundi ku nsi mu Gundi mu Europe ng'ali presentinga ensi ya Uganda. So baganda bange sijja kuddako awo tudde mu bingi kansubire nti mwenna okusoma mumanyi okusoma you can read kansubire nti mujja genda mugire musomeko ono omukyala and you read more. I expect you to learn. Naye bw'obanga toyagala muganda wange nze zijja nze zimanyi nakumanya wuuyo gyali ye ambasadda wamwe buli kimu kyonna nga tuvuddeyo eyo tuddeyo ewa muganda waffe tuli mu kuprotestinga ewa muganda waffe kandabe wajje tuli ku Twitter. Okay, mukoze omulimu naye neetaaga bannayuganda abalala mujoyininge bannaye mujoyininge linki kandabe okay linki twagitaddeyo, it's the same link. So if you are on a JB Muwonge bw'obanga oli ku JB Muwonge muganda wange nyiga ku eyo linki gy'olaba ng'eri pinned wansi, eyo linki eri pinned wansi, joininga baganda bo joininge we send out our tweets as we go. Tuteekeyo tweets zaffe nga bwe tugenda mu maaso era ngenda bateerako ne ka music just oba kyamusaamu nga bwe tutweetinga as we tweet. Ebirala tujja bireeta oluvannyuma. We're going to be bringing you more and more as we go. Naye ako kabadde just a brief information okulaga nti kiki ekigenda maaso mu Uganda. Omanye ekikwatagana n'ensi yo because bw'obanga teyagala okumanya ebikwatagana n'ensi yo and bw'obanga just oli mutujoyininga kati ng'obadde nga tomanyi nkusaasidde. Me I forgive you because lw'olituuka nti oyagala okuyiga ebikwatagana n'ensi yo, the day you're going to wake up nti simanyi nti oyagala okuyiga ebikwatagana n'ensi yo, you are going to be too late. Mugana ojja kuba ng'oli late. Gojja kuba ng'oli late nga yadde nga tomanyi nakumanya nti yani who is the owner of your own country nga tomanyi nakumanya bino this information jofunye kati sawazi within a few minutes. Abasinga mubadde nga temubimanyi, badde nga muli eyo nga mubeeranga eyo nga temumanyi nakumanya nti this information that does exist about Uganda. So either inform yourself bw'obanga tagala kuinform. If you do not want to inform yourself ayenze naakolaki ojjako era ku makya nga bakubuuza nti even 1+1 nga tomanyi ne answer ekikwatagana ku nsi yo, nga bakubuuza how was NRM how many years has been in the government nga tomanyi nakumanya nga tosobola nakubala n'emyaka. Naye bwe bakubuuza story eyakasembayo mu myaka 10 story eyasooka ku simanyi nti kalakata emyaka 10 egiyiseewo ng'omunnayuganda ayinza okubulira buli kimu kyonna ekibadde ku kalakata mu myaka 10. yeyo Uganda gye tulimu. Ayi baganda what else do we need? Kiki ekirala kye mwetaaga? temukyalina bemwekwasa internet gyeri to inform yourself oba osobola okuinforming yourself buli kimu kyonna. Anyways, nga tugenda mu maaso as we tweet, baganda bange musigale nga muli mu kutweetinga. Kandabe, how long have I bannai kansooke mpumulemu, simanyi oba gunda fande Masabo bajali oba ali busy, naye katuweze tweets 1,000, tuweze tweets 1,000 wano. Tuwuliriza kati ngenda kuincreasinga ka volume tutweetinge tuweze tweets 1,000. Wali ku JB Muwonge, please link eriyo awo wansi. If you want to join us, jangu ku JB Muwonge TV channel. Togenda kugundi kweli JB Muwonge na jangu on JB Muwonge TV channel. JB Muwonge TV channel, you will see the link at the bottom, or sindike obubaka bwonna bweyagala okusindika. Yeah, the link is there. So I'm going to increase the volume nga bwe tutweetinga. Mwabali mu kudduka tema baganda bange tema ojja zuku kalumu nga tomanyedde ekikwatagana n'ensi yo. So anyways, tugende maaso, tulina dakiika 10 minutes nga tumaliriza zino zitwite zisigaddeyo. Okay, I count from now. 10 minutes tumaliriza wano, si byamuzanya ate siri mugundi mu byokusaka. Tugende maaso.
Omuntu wabanga zoganyeyo naye nga baatukazuka kulalira naye twaddaana birimba baatuzaala ng'ensobi sibawulira baatukazuka kulalira naye twaddaana birimba baatuzaala ng'ensobi naye abalemerako be balimalako tobolabanga twalemerako ne tukanoonya.
So if you need to send out a tweet, Uganda kikole nga bukyali. Find us on JB Muwonge, buli information yonna gye weetaaga gyebiri wali ku JB Muwonge.
Emirimu be gye tukola tegisana naye okukola tekulimba. Baatukazuka kulalira baatuzaala ng'ensobi baatukazuka kulalira naye
JB Muwonge TV channel. Yiyo message bw'oba oyagala message, you can just put message naye teekayo ebifaananyi byonna, any pictures, ebifaananyi byonna by'omanyi ky'olina ekikwatagana ne teekayo naye katugire tumalirize tuteekeyo tweets ezimala olwo tuveeyo tujje ku bundi bife ebirala tuyambe muganda waffe tojja wano okulive justinga oze wano okuwuliriza enomala
bw'olobeera mu geto nosigala mu geto eye bakompulaya naye buzalibwa mu geto nokulira mu geto osobola okuyimuka nokikirira geto bw'ova mu geto onotula n'abakulu
kasita ogamba ekyokola omunnayuganda kasita tomugamba ekyokola mama batema butemi balinga gunda ensi yaabwe tebibakwata mpozi naye maybe oyinza osanga ba NRM bebasinga okulaba zino zi live video nti tubeera ne ba NRM bajja nebasooka ne batuwuliriza ne batugyamu ebigambo bwe balaba nti tumaliriza nga tuzze mu gundi ku mirimu olwo ne babala ne badduka naye bwebanga si ba NRM nga bannayuganda ezimanyi nakumanya nsobola nabbegayirira nsobola kwegayirira okulwanirira ensi yo ayagadde ajja kikola atayagadde yamanyi kubanga yatayagadde era enkya ajja okuba nga ali mukaabo bali mugamba nti zimanyi tebinkwatako oba saagala okuba nekyenkola ajja kulaba obwavu mu future bujja kuluma nga wagaana okuyiga ebikwatagana ku nsi eyo. Anyways, for tubawa information, we give you the updated information of what is going on in Uganda. Katinga tuogera as we speak, we are on UN as we're sending out our tweets on UN human rights. Kubanga fe already we figured that you know kubera gundi few steps ahead of the government. Do you know kola steps in kumi maso ga government in bageno tukeyo. They get to reach there nga fe say yoda. The government gatenga kugamba. Tulina okusebenga naye ekyabo munakeera kumakya nga muganda waffe ng'ali mu Uganda kyobaako ne gwonenya gwatalina kye wakola tandika naawe tonenya gavumenti togamba nti Museveni mubi Museveni mukyamu bw'oba nga naawe nga tolina ky'oli mukola tandika naawe tolina kyeweekwasa ompulira kansemeze ne mike bulungi kankiddemo nti enkya bonna akeera n'osanga nga muganda waffe ali mu Uganda ng'ate nga tolina ky'oli mukola toddakaawo n'okomplaininga simanyi gundi ebyekyana ekitwa si kyekyo kubanga tukuwadde information buli kimu kyonna kyeweetaaga tukuwadde. We have given you everything that you need, so tolina kyosobola otugamba, tolina kyosobola okungamba nti tolina kyofunye. Tukugambye we tuli mu kutweetinga, it's on JB Muwonge TV channel. Genda ku JB Muwonge TV channel ojja kulaba linki kandabe kankyuse ne kukyusa screen temugamba nti ate simanyi biki yiyo wawano gye tuli JB Muwonge TV channel yiino kwe tuli ogiraba JB Muwonge TV channel yiyo abasinga already mumanyi JB Muwonge abasinga mugoberera gundi eri JB Muwonge main channel naye gye tuliko is JB Muwonge TV channel. So bw'obanga kooli please gezaako obeereko ku gundi kweno live obeereko nekyokola. The link is already pinned there because njiraba eri pinned wano ku gundi ku simu, so oba ogirabako awo gundi wansi, so tolina kiweekwasa. Nga tukomawo ntusinika retweets zaffe. Musindike. Kozesa ebifaananyi si nti kyetaagisa okozesa ebifaananyi bya Fred Lumbuye byokka, tulina oteekayo n'ebifaananyi ebya gundi evidences ez'enjawulo, tulina oteekako zi evidences ez'enjawulo. Oteekeko ebifaananyi nga byanjawulo, ku gundi wano olwo tugire biriwa nteekeko ebifaananyi ebyenjawulo. It doesn't have to be ebifaananyi bya Fred Lumbuye. Message kweri, if you need a message oba nga tomanyi the words you need to use, gezaako okozesa gundi ebigambo byo. Try to use your own words. Sinus kirabika sinus enyingi nge banda kwogera senyiga kiki nayogedde leero okusika omuka okujjaka abalina sinus, abalina obulwadde ba sinus bebamanyi obwo obulumi. Okwebaka si kyangu, okusomoka from time to time si kyangu, naye tujja kulwana. Alright, nga bwe tugenda maaso baganda bange mwanguye linki eriawo twagipininze ku JB Muwonge TV channel. Linki twagipininze ku JB Muwonge channel. Why are we doing this? Lwaki tuli mukola kino? We are doing this because already the government bali mu kuforming some legal frame okulaba nti Fred Lumbuye bamuleeta ewaka. Naye ffe kye tulina okukola, tulina okulaga gundi any human rights activists okubalaga nti Fred Lumbuye, he is in danger if he ends up in the hands of the government. So we need to focus on the Turkish government, and also we need to focus on all the human rights activists around the world, including the UN. So as you guys can see, akyasinza amaanyi okubeera activist yono gwe bayita Kenny Roth ndowooza basinga bwe nabo mumanyi. He's like the most activist human rights in the world. Bamumanyi, tutaddeko UN human rights, witaddeko UN, witaddeko State Department. So bagana temulina kimwekwasa. Send, go on Twitter and send your message. Tobizalawo bw'oba oli munnayuganda ng'oyagala enkyukakyuka toddakaawo n'ogamba nti ate bye muli mukola simanyi nti social media tejja kola bya abamanyi amaanyi ga social media tumanyi ekyokola. Ate bw'oba oyagala okugamba nti simanyi nti social media talina amaanyi, gwolowooza bandikutte ekkubo ne bagenda nti bagenza okwata gundi Fred Lumbuye. If they don't know the power of social media. if you didn't know amanya ka social media ngoloza bandi kutte kuba ne bagamba nti katukwate Fred Lumbuye ago gemanyi ka social media. That's the power of social media. So gwali ye abadde nga tuzalawo abadde nga agamba nti simanyi nti Twitter tekola mirimu, Twitter tekoze eki. Gwe nkusaasidde. I forgive you. Muganda wange badnaye munansonyiwa leero gundi ya Sinus eyingidde nga bukyali ate obudde si bubi outside si wabi nti gundi oba ndi mu mpewo naye nnyindo if you see me nga I'm like sneezing or try to breathe it sinus endi bubika etandise mbuzaayo ng'eddakiika maybe 10 minutes nga mbaliriza. Okay. All right. Tugende maaso. Kanyongeze ne ka volume. We are fighting for freedom. You are fighting. Mwabali mukulwana kati. You are fighting for freedom. Aba batayagala kulwana simanyi kye muli mukulwanirira. Maybe you are fighting for something else naye. Abali ye no tuli mukulwanirira for our freedom.
Okununula eggwanga mulimu gwaffe abaana ba Uganda nkiddamu n'okununula eggwanga kitukakatako
omulidde pulezidenti waffe naye pulezidenti waffe baaba bw'oba otuwuliriza kati pulezidenti waffe nze neesuuze nnyo okulaba ng'otudde mu state house ayayayayayaya bwe eyo Uganda ejja kubanga Uganda nga yasanyu nze neewuunyamu abatayagala okulwanirira Uganda ya Bobby ate yana tayagala okulwanirira Uganda ya Bobby yana tayagala okulwanirira Uganda ya Bobby omanyi okubeera ne pulezidenti ng'erinnya nga nickname ye Bobby vava kono simanyi nti tikola ki simanyi tisiruwala simanyi nti tisiruwala oba tibuuka oba tiki gwe weebuze nojja ku state house nogamba mwana storeki ogamba ki mwana storeki nga zizo ngo entambula omanyi entambula ya pulezidenti okitegeera ng'entambula ya pulezidenti nga bw'ogiraba naawe otambula security nga Eddie Mutwe ye security yena ayambadde FBI buli kimu kyonna gwe nga Bobby yanga yafuga emmotoka avimba yafuga president okitegeera nga map media ya reporting buli wamu naye bwe kirabika mwendo Uganda empya kirabika temumadde nga temumanyira kumanya nti kiki ekiri mu Uganda empya Ugandans Uganda empya ng'olabira nti mulinga ababadde nga batuuse we were like there tubadde nga twakatuuka naye abasinga bagakanzireyo emabega simanyi nti biki abasinga batudde butuuzi naye nga just akabona just kusindika busindisa ekigaali gundi abali mu kigaali kyaffe bonna ne bagwa wansi ekigaali nekisimbula buli omu netutandikira gwe omanyi Uganda ya Bobby just emyaka 5 nga Bobby yatudde eri mu ntebe nga Uganda yonna jukira protection Bobby ali protected gwe tozanya Bobby ali protected kati gwe webuze n'afuka president buli munna Uganda yenna aprotectinga Bobby ne bano basirikale ne buno mu poliisi obwekyanga bakoowa bano bapoliisi bonna bakoowa kulwokuba nti batya bakama baabwe bagamba nti yogera kino ayina okuba nga alina okwogera ekyo naye bwe balaba nti gundi Museveni avuddeko abasirikale abapoliisi abatuwuliriza kati bonna bakoowa Museveni tebagala kumanya gano akazeeyi just bakikola bukozi nti beetaaga akasente n'ekirala nti bakama baabwe tebagala kola ki kubanga gundi gavumenti ya Uganda yafuuka nga gundi bamafia bw'oba okola mu bamafia you have to keep your word tosobola kuvaamu just you cannot leave the mafia family just like that naye bamanya nti Bobby ayingiddewo nga ye president eyo Uganda yana gwe leka naawe kambatereko gundi ya wano muwulirize nga Bobby ye president bwezakuwulirize music kansake nkubene music wano ne ba sinus enuma
Jaba wejjukize mutima gwe Uganda ne gamba muno akuliranye nti ffe Buganda ne kiddemu kimugambe ffe Uganda ne Uganda. We are the country, we are the future, we are the change we badly need. We are the youngest population in the world, we stand a chance. We are the leaders of the future, and the future is today. If we only come together, we can change our destiny. Bopima kuche tuli, mazima we tuli, si we tuli na okuba. Uganda, weba seba, sukukaba. Uganda, kade mwako Uganda.
Mwebase. Babagambadda abaana Bobby ne Nubianiri. Temulina kyemubaba. Babagambadda.
My brother. Kati bubanga webase lero sisimuka. Bubanga webase boy lero sisimuka. Tuligambe kyategwanga twakiraba nti kiki kye mwakola. Eyali omuto luli abuuse ng'emyaka giyise. Kati yeffe miti ye mito laba ngambye ffe miti ye mito fuba olabe nga twejuna. Nsaba wenyigire mu bikolwa by'olaba naawe ebijuna ensi yo. Oleme byakudda ku bbali kuloba ensi yo ng'ewaba ogiraba. Oleme n'akubawa alayisa eddembe lyo terugulwa bunusu. Njagala okimanye mutima abe tutya yeffe be basingawo. Uganda, gamba mu Uganda, webase bambi, zukuka bambi.
Owulidde message.
Uganda,
abawadde message mugiwulidde. Muzuukuke bannayuganda. Bobby yabagamba nti mwebase temulina kyemwekwasa. I'm not telling you which is not I'm not telling you that lies. Already mukimanyi nti abannayuganda bangi mukyebase. President waffe aze nga atukubiriza ennyimba emyaka n'emyaka.
Saba wejjukize mutima ffe Uganda ne Uganda. Gamba muno akuliranye nti ffe Buganda ne Buganda. Kiddemu kimugambe ffe Uganda ne Uganda. We are the country, we are the future, we are the change we badly need. We are the youngest population in the world, we stand a chance. We are the leaders of the future, and the future is today. You are the chairman of the future, and the future is today. You are the counselor of the future, and the future is today. You are the MP of the future, and the future is today. You are the mayor of the future, and the future is today. You are the president of the future, and the future is today. Olera amasoko buli wengalaba nze yasi sunshine nendowooza bwe kibeera baby nga you are mine kuba luli we nakusanga nga tuli mu dance nenkusaba tuzineko nawe umonyigo squeeze bako bachengamba olabika nga tantwenga baby manya bulijjo yena
nekirala bannayuganda abali mu kulaba kino, this is what they call a peaceful protest. Abadde nga badde bakimanyi mwe abalina akatengo nze mbasaasidde, this is what they call an official era gyetumaze okugunda ebbanga nga abadde nga tebakimanyi eno mwe abalina akatengo, this is what they call a peaceful protest. Nti kyetuli mukola it's peaceful, tekimenya amateeka. NRM mubanga mutuwuliriza obanga mutulaba namwe mujoininge protest, mujje tukube nanti bwe balaba nga tuli mu kutweetinga nabo bavaayo nga banyiivu ne batandika okutweetinga, so this is peaceful, so namwe mujoininge mujje mutwegatteko tu protestinge tugende maaso ne music.
Wamundu zino naye nga webondabondererwawondaba obutono naye matumweni bana abanigo balaba bapika obunyama naye bwakawa n'olumu bakwanisa sente n'amala nakufuga, n'olumu bakwanisa sente n'amala nakufuga, olumu bakwanisa sente n'amala olundi bakwanisa mundu n'amala nakufuga, n'olumu bakozesa mundu n'amala nakufuga, abasajja bakozesa mundu n'amala nakufuga. Ayubire naye nga kyalenga agambe atya ngugambe kyalenga nga kube mpolampola Patrick we mpola Patrico ngovimbye nnyo kati singa obadde MP wandibadde naye ulinako kakubiramuko omuziki kabe ngukubira ba MP bannange nga tuli eri
musindike tweets zamwe
jagala okwebaza ba MP abalwanirira
banaye mugire mukole
kana kayimba bakayita kyalenga kana kayimba twakayimba mu nnimi eza Uganda 10 newankubadde bakaganda
naye nekira
kankakubiremu
actually waliwo kyenjagala linda kankendeze volume 1
mulekaje
kankendeze volume 1 kankendeze volume, then I just try to talk to you guys. Waliwo kye twategedde kana akakodyo si kakodyo naye akali mugenda maaso mu Uganda. Fe ababadde eno nga bali mu kulwana eno maaso abasajja temunyiiga naye bamaama baffe balwanye okusinga abasajja abasinga neera gyolaba gyogenze eno eri gyetugenze eno neeri mwe busajja mwe bamatovu bwoba oli wano otuwuliriza nga erinnya ly'oggone matovu bani ba isima bani agamanya ago agali bwegato bashafiiki bani basharifu bani agamanya agali bwegato mwe pulaani kijje muliko mwena mwalya sente za Museveni kiki kubanga abamaama olaba ennaku zino be bali active ku nsi yaabwe ndowooza kabeeramo akokufaako ku nsi yo nti mu mukyala ako kabeeramo naye abasajja mwe sigambye nti bonna naye abali wano olweddi beemanyi abasajja bali wano beemanyi abalwanyi naye nga ffe abandi badde nga bakwata ekubo nga tuli eno maaso si kyekyo twandibadde nga tulina gunda abasajja abali yawo nga mwenna nga muli eno nga mulwana nga mwewaayo nga mugamba nti kaneeweeyo kati abakyala baffe nabane bafunirawo example naye bwe tuba nti tulina abasajja nga namwe mulina akatengo simanyi nti mukoze eki nga tujja kuba nga tulina obuzibu awo ka meeting tujja kola ka meeting nga struggle ewedde tujja kola ka meeting mwe tujja bakebera kubanga nze kyemanyi tuyinza okuba nga tulimo nga erinnya lyo gwe ye Charles naye nga eri secret ye Charlotte okitegeera mwe tujja baka ebino kubanga basajja mwandibadde nga muli eno ku front line nga tulwana wamu naye kirabika mulimu bamu muli mukwekweka simanya akatengo omusajja teyandibadde n'akatengo ozaalibwa ng'omusajja kubanga gwa protectinga family wandibadde nga tolina akatengo ekiba kibe azze n'omukuba knockout okitegeera olina okumakinga sure nti obeera steady buli kaseera naye oba olina akatengo bannaye zimanyi olwo kati ana naprotectinga gundi omukyala wo oba baana bo anyways tugende mu maaso. Let's go forward with our tweeting. So tulabe gye tulaga. Mwena mubere Fred Lumbuye. Olaba abadde nga ajjanga ku live buli kaseera. Beera Fred Lumbuye. Beera blogger yenna. Beera. Kubanga yani who is going to give us like bajjajja baffe batata baffe bebaani bwe batugamba ngezo zi story okiraba bazeyi baffe batugamba ngezo zi story kubanga story ezo tujjama akatengo tojja ziwulira okuva kwani ewa maama oziwulirira okuva ewa taatawo mu basajja mu magundi bakojjaabo baani bwe batugamba mwana okiraba ffe bwe twali baana bato twayingiranga eyo mu kibira simanyi gundi empologoma ne tulwana nayo simanyi n'okola kino ogikuba eŋŋumi nga ebyokutya kati bikyalimu okitegeera kati awo ne kikuwa confidence ng'okula kati n'okula ng'olina confidence nti oli bwajja gwe saawa yonna nina abavubuka babiri naye tosobola bamanyira baana bato naye tosobola bamanyira bamanyi nti saawa yonna obaleetako akamanyiiro ba Muhammad Ali naye naye nakuzino leka baganda bano kiki ekyatutuukako wakiri bw'oba ng'otya eno ng'ogamba nti simanyi saagala kulwana eno beerako n'ekirala ky'osobola okukola ebbali nti olwane ku social media okuba amasimu okole ki naye bw'oba ng'olina too much katengo ng'oli musajja bamaama nze nkuwaka example nze nkuliramu ndi mukuliramu kati nti omusajja bw'oba olina boyfriend nga omugamba nti jangu tutwitinge jangu tukole kino nga addakawo n'abeera kyeyeekwasa nze nkugamba gwe oyo bwenna egundi kakappa bwe kanayingira mu nyumba oyo yajja osooka okufuluma ajja kuyita mu ddinisa togenda namulaba oyo ajja osooka okuyita mu kaddinisa togenda namulaba kati maama bw'oba oli wano nti waliwo gobadde osuubira nti simanyi nti eki muwe katesti sooka omutestinga akatengo kubanga bw'aba alina akatengo baaba oyo nze nkuliramu just nkugamba bugambi just giving you an advice on top of what we're doing to help our brother. So anyways tuve mu story ako kabadde gundi ka break time ebadde break time. We're almost done baganda bange, we're almost done. 1k tweets awo wano bajja kubanga bafunye message yaffe. Wala byenkugamba bangi batuddeyo bangi, many people are seated there, they are wondering even what to do, tebamanyi n'ekyokola. Naye abaana bannayuganda batudde eno tweets 1,000 ziizo bazikoze omulundi gumu. It doesn't take even that much effort. Naye bannayuganda goloza nze ali mu kutweetinga nzeka. I'm not the only one who's tweeting. You can see the numbers, you know. Tutandise nga ziri ku gundi nga zibadde nga ziri kumpi 0. Zizo abaana bazikoze tweets 1,000 zizo 960 something. Tulina bangi abali mu kutweetinga, so goloza nti ojja kubeera eyo nti naawe tukwegayirire fe mulimo abaana abaagala ensi yaabwe. There are people who love their own country nti omulimu gwabwe tegukoma okujja wano okuwuliriza story ebitalina mugaso. Just because tuyinza okujja wano ne tukola live, we only come here to do a live in order to encourage other people okulaba nti tuyina abalala bajja ne batujoininga ne tubaako kye tukola. Kyekyo muganda wange. Naye bw'oba olowooza nti ffe tutuula butuuzi ne tujja wano ne tukola live essaawa 2 essaawa 3 gwe n'olowooza nti naffe tulina gundi nti simanyi nti we wasting time. Nedda, tebakulimba. Muganda wange aliwo amasaaba, ndooza amasaaba naye ajja tujoininga nga bwe tugenda maaso ku tweet endala eddako, naye tubuzaayo tweets ntono nnyo. So abo abali mu kutweetinga tiimu Twitter tiimu, mwe muli baakabi, bakyali mwe muli baakabi, mwe muli baakabi ekyatujjako era. Ate mwababadde nga tebakimanyi kambaliremu kamu nga tuli kumpa okumaliriza, we almost done. Kambaliremu kamu Sometimes our president gomanyi, sometimes he comes and checks on us. Tuli ba VIP bwe tetuzanyirako fe tubeera eno president waffe akimanyi nti alina ttiimu emubeererawo buli kaseera nti ekyetaagisiga okolebwa, akimanyi nti tulina frontline team ebeerawo buli kaseera. So he, sometimes tuyinza okuba nga tuli awo nogenda okulaba nga president waffe apopinze in just okucheckinga basirikale bali kuki, ba frontline bali kuki. Bwe tuyagala okubeera mu eyo entebe ya VIP gubadde olowooza nti bino byetukola just tebiriyawo nti simanyi nti tebirina mugaso. Leka naawe bino bya VIP. Saawa yonna tukikolera ensi yaffe, tetukikolera nti president waffe ajja kujja atulabe naye kulwokuba nti naye amanyi nti waliwo kyetukola ng'ate nga kyamaanyi naye avaayo. President waffe naye avaayo najja n'agamba okay bwe bati n'agira n'atunyonyola sometimes maybe abadde abeera nga yeetaaga otubuuzaako n'agamba kampowemo naye bw'oba oyagala kujoininga VIP team jjanga otujoining nawe nga toyagala naakola ki enkyo jja tulaba nga baganda banga bayitawo ng'ayambadde suuti kubye suuti gw'obadde ng'ozalawo ng'ogamba nti simanyi nti asiiba ku Twitter oba asiiba ku gundi ng'ayambadde suuti ng'alina ba security ng'ali protected nga wayita bagamba nti VIP salute amala ogambe nti ate oleete byennugu simanyi biki wolowolo leka wali wagambe nti volume Juliet volume yange eri okay. Yongeza volume ku simu yo kubanga neewuliriza I can hear myself, my volume is okay. My sinus has been killing me, but yes, true for our country. Rwani didn't see you. Anyways, ngatumaliriza, I think we have another place we're going to go. Naye aba joining late. For those who joined us late, eye number. The number you are seeing kambatereka kakayimba kafenga betugira. Okay. Yeah, so the number you're seeing on the screen right now, Damo Ojikubeko. You try and call that number. Where does it take you? No number, UN Protective Officer contact number. This is a person who is they're in charge of protecting people who need help. In terms of like in the situation like our brother Fred Lumbuye, he is the same situation he's in. So bobanga wamisinze the first whatever nga twatandise no live kyekyo kyetwetaaga nti muganda waffe twetaaga kumakinga sure nti he gets as much legal protection as possible, and UNHCR ababa protecting human rights yeyo ye namba yaabwe ekutwala direct ku headquarter. Tongamba nti bwe twabadde ku live okuva gundi almost 2 hours 3 hours, tongamba nti waliwo Munnayuganda eyavudde ku live n'agenda n'atuula butuuzi ng'ate they have like the ability to call the number. Jamie wa Bobby oli late, badnaye oli late, tujja kusalako max mu kiraasi. Wajja funa nga 10% mu kiraasi g'oli late nnyo. Badnaye ozi late, tumaliriza piraawe ewedde. Anyways, nga tugenda maaso eye namba eri ku screen ya UN Protective Officer contact number. So if you need to help Fred Lumbuye and a number jola ku screen, that is what we have to call. The headquarter is in the US. So you need to call the number neturaba so we can see if we can get hold of those people. Neturaba kyetuyinza okola. They might, when they answer it, you need to give them all information. Or our information is on Nobagamba Muganda wa Fred Lumbuye. He is being so people who are calling it right now, no, if it's busy it's okay, because when you call and it's busy, that means we have many people already occupying that phone. Uganda banji kati bali mukuba kweye namba. This gives you the top priority and gives you the best protection from UN. Wano bw'obagamba story, bw'obagamba history of what is going on, they quickly kubanga bo tebetaaga petitioning. Nga bw'olaba petition eziyita mu kooti, UN protection teyetaaga kuyita mu kooti. Waliwo agamba nti okunoonyereza nankuwa mukazi omuganda nja kuwa omukazi omuganda oyige waliwo aŋŋambe nti ajja kumpa omukazi omuganda njiga oluganda omanyi njogera ennimi 8 I speak 8 languages njogera ennimi 8 naye oluganda of course oluganda I think the Luganda was the second last language I learned. Now I think I should give you like a bit of my background okitegeere nti I was born in Uganda naye saakulira mu Uganda nene nkomawo mu Uganda so I returned in Uganda nembeerayo emyaka awo kati nenziramu nenjiga Oluganda so when I speak my Luganda is naye nga originally nva gunda ebusoga originally nze ndi mwana w'ebusoga tomumanyiira amanyiyo ekamuli ewaffe ku kyalo so if I speak my Luganda don't undermine my Luganda eno Luganda si Luganda ya from northern Uganda eno Luganda si Luganda si eri Luganda okuva mu Banyankore ne eno Luganda ye Luganda yennyini I can change my accent. Anyways, nga bwe tumaliriza, this is not the time for joking. Si esawo y'okuzanya. Bangi nnyo bagamba nti line eri busy. Any other links? Links is really, the links already pinned at the bottom on the page. Okutwala gundi anyways katuve ku gundi ku byembozi let us live like ebyembozi kati katubiteeke ebbali mwe bali mukumbuza bingi kyolina okumanya I speak njogera ennimi 8 buli if you want any language I can speak to you just biteeke muki biteeke mugundi mu comment if you need me to speak any language biteeke mu comment ngenda kuddamu mu lulimi lw'oyagala you will be surprised how many language I speak ojja kubanga oli surprised so yeah nga tugenda mu maaso anyways tugende maaso let's keep going as we do what I know banji nnyo bagamba nti my accent esoundinga nga gundi ng'ey'Abanyankole of course esoundinga ng'ey'Abanyankole bw'ogatta ennimi zenjogera bw'ogattako Oluswayiri bw'ogattako gundi French bw'ogattako Oluwarabu bw'ogattako gundi Olunyarwanda Olusoga ndwogera bw'ogattako Oluganda was the last language I learned ndowooza olulimi olwasembayo okuyigga lwali luki ndowooza olulimi olwasembayo okuyiga lwali Luganda yes the last language I learned lwali Luganda lwe lwasembayo kubanga I was already speaking English nali nga njogera gundi Oluswayiri nga njogera Eringala bannaye anyways omutwe gulimu akavuyo kangi yeah anyways whatever it is saawa zino si saawa yakubuuza nti lulimi ki lwenjogera ekikulu nti twetaaga yes eyo gundi ate awo ndagire gundi wini kyoyogedde kituufu ya so kyagambye bw'oli watadde mugundi mu comments agambye nti Fred Lumbuye bwe kiba nga kisobose if UN can bamukuba essimu whoever is going to be sharing that information nafuna engeri gyafuna protection in another country like mu UK oba mu Sweden in a place whereby he's going to feel more protected kubanga mu Turkey in Turkey he's not going to be as protected naye bwafuna obutuuze in a place like in baitawa in a place like in Sweden in a place like in ono gundi kankuddemo since I'm already on JB Muwonge okay waliwo abadde yabuuziza erinnya ly'oyo omukyala gwe nabadde nga ndi mu kwogerako. So erinnya yani takyesiga omunye nyambe kagenda baganda ekyo okay. Waliwo ani erinnya ndirabyekowa Kizito, yes, Kizito Michael gundi erinnya nditaddekawo mu comments mu comments eryoyo omukyala bwoba ng'okyayagala okola ki nga you still want to learn more about that. Waliwo omulala agambe nti bamutwale mu America wherever, because with UN protective officer contact number bw'obakubira essimu and they accept your case kubanga bo bakikola mu bwangu, they do it very fast. So if they can accept his case bayinza omutambuza mu bwangu, they can quickly move him either to bayinza okitambuza mu bwangu either tugambe nti ne bamutuusa mu America oba ne bamutuusa mu gundi gundi mu Europe oba mostly he might easily end up like in Europe or in America. Bwekibanga kisobose if like the UN gets to respond and they get to take action. Naye fenga abali wano kansubire even the legal team, like the legal team, our legal team which is on the ground, kansubire already kyekyo kibali mukola. So anyways, baganda bange tweets kati zaweze 10 and I'm sure that our team is already heading somewhere else. So kandabe waje tuli, where are we? Okay. All right. Where are we? Okay. All right. We are tweeting at our Turkish code of account something. Okay. Eno account je tuliko. Bagana bangenze mbasaba tekyetaagisa nti mubeere ku live in order for you guys to send out tweets. Nti saawa yonna kasita tusigala nga tuli wano tujja balekera homework. We're going to give you homework. We're going to give you homework to continue doing sending out your tweet. Ayine wano bamaliriza. Bana Uganda wano bamaliriza. Ayeleza. Waliwo agamente ziweze kati okay. Team muteekeko link wano. You guys can put a link on here tukyuse kubanga wano already twavuddeyo. Boba, if you missed it, mwabali mugundi those who are just joining us, if you missed where we were tweeting in another place, bagana bange muyinza okujja ne mudda kweno eno account endala. Those are just joining us. There. This is the Turkish code of accounts. You can go to there and try to also put your tweets. So this is a justice system in Turkey. Nti toino ba warning, we give them a warning ahead of time. Netubagamba nti waliwo muganda waffe ali mu Turkey gwe bagala okudeportinga, so people you can try to help. There are so many countries he can choose. Yes, yeah, kituufu, yeah. Waliwo agamba nti there are so many countries he can choose from. Yes, it is true. If UN gets involved and then the UN human rights they get involved, waliwo ensi nyingi zaba asobola okuchoosinga. He can choose many countries where he would want to be protected. Naye nga bomanyi Museveni, you know, alina obusirikale buli wamu. Even here where I am gye buli naye nga nze bamanyi nava mu kika ky'abalwanyi nze bamanyi. I walk free, I speak free, nze sibifaako. Ayagala okulwana ojja nga tulwana. Baba nasindika obwa SFC basindike bungi. Baba nasindika muno bugundi onja bukuba empi. Anyways, zichengamba as we finish, we have the tweets on there, which is where we need to go. So baganda bang mugezeeko mugende kugundi kweno Turkish code, muteekeyo namwe zi tweets zamwe naye but Twitter warriors, I think they're switching on where we need to go. So ahereza bani mwenna abali yeye mabega Jamie wa Bobby Wamanga muli yeye mabega musindike gye tulaga. UN humanitarian operation Antigone remain. Okay. Banai. Hey. All right, baganda bang. He want to join Spiderweb. Oh. Hey, nakalango akalala. Museveni, yes, Museveni alina akatengo kanji. Oyo muzeeyi. Aba Museveni bonna. Anyone who works for Museveni balina akatengo kanji. Yeah. Anyways, before we finish, ngata tunnamaliriza. Yes, as we're finishing, as we wait for our next link, muganda wange, there is waliwo enkola gye tulina gye twakola gye bayita spiderweb. What is a spiderweb? A spiderweb technically twandigifunidde erinnya erirala ne tugamba nti tujja liyitaani Lumbuye 2 oba Lumbuye 3. Eno enkola engeri gyekolamu nawe kizito erinnya already nalitaddeko. Okay. Okay. Kizito liri erinnya nzizeemu nenditeekako. Liri ku gundi oliraba lijjidde ku gundi NUP Frontline TV. Ku gundi comment eddako. Eri erinnya liryo. Yeah. So anyways, yes, you can still abuuza oyo dina mulungi bw'obanga oyagala oteekayo tweets ezizo nyiga kweyo link. Yes, we can still add more tweets. The more tweets we can send, the better. So eyo link gyolaba wansi, you can click on it and add your own tweets on there. Please take your tweets nga 10. Take your tweets nga 10 or tulabe tumunyigirize. Okay, yes. Okay. Yeah, so take your tweets nga 10. Please, if you can't take your tweets nga 10 or okomeo, you will find another link that we are going to leave on here. So mwabali ku live musigaleko as we are looking for another place to go to. Team ndoze eri mu kitetenka nyakati. Okay. Yes, we have found another link, which is UN humanitarian. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Homework. Enabange sigadde oba where we are going to continue actually from kubanga Masaba. I think Masaba is going to come live soon. So for me, I'm going to be concluding this as hours is almost 3 hours. Omugongo. Nkaddiye myaka nsanvu mingi nkaddiye. So Masaba is going to be coming live. I'm going to be finishing up here. Naye kalakalango kembadde nga ne mukuyisaako kebayita gundi spiderweb. Bw'obanga olina omukutu, if you have a page that you use for struggle, oba erina followers omu, oba erina ba followers babiri, oba erina ba followers emitwalo n'emitwalo, gwe kyokola kiri kimu. Send us your page. Either you can contact JB Muwonge or you can contact NUP Frontline or tugire tukugateko ku spiderweb. Yeah, anywhere you see, whatever you see what they call spiderweb or any video you see nga kuliko hashtag spiderweb, omuntu oyo musindikire message. Send a message to that person. It can be JB Muwonge, it can be Map Media, it can be anyone. Whoever you see nga kuliko hashtag spiderweb, oyo mukubireko ku simu. Oba musindikira message oba mu kyokola kyonna contact that person or mubuuze how can I join a spiderweb. What is a spiderweb? Spiderweb nti tuli mu kugatta buli mikutu gyonna. Nti oyinza okuba ng'oli tugambe nti oli mu northern Uganda, olina Facebook page, naye kulwokuba nti you do not get as much information, page yo tebeera active nnyo, ate tebeerako ki. Naye bwe tugigatta ku spiderweb nti amawulire gonna gafuluma bwe tugafulumya bwe gati ne tugateeka ku spiderweb nti they come to you directly live nga bondaba kati. Sawa zino abali mukundaba you are seeing me from different pages. Since and as naming, I cannot even name how many pages we are connected on. We are connected to so many pages. So in live video is not just only on a JB Muwonge, eriku live nti bokyusa live nogenda kulanda media oba VJ Cruise oba nogenda kwa kushama benefits oba nogenda any other pages that you can name nti ojja tusanga nga live yenyini nyini sibino ntate ngeno live video emaze ate nomala no no, this is the same live video gyoli mukulaba kati sawa zino ate ndi mu studio bw'oba oyagala kumanya nti ndi mulamu gweyisa oluyi mugundi mu simu oba muki onkuba oluyi ojja kulaba awo no you will know at I am alive so tolowooza nti this is a robot oba ki ndi mulamu. So baganda bange bw'oba ng'olina page, if you have a page and you would like to add it on Spiderweb, to syndicate a message or send it to whoever you are seeing on wherever you're seeing this bunobobaka to kugateko ku Spiderweb. Why is it Spiderweb very important? Ti olunaku Fred Lumbuye lwalikomawo tujja mugamba nti jangu oweereza obubaka ku Spiderweb awono woogenda otegeera amaanyi ga Spiderweb oba pulezidenti waffe bw'anaaba ng'akomyewo nga bwe tuli mu kikola ne tutetenkanya nti interview ne tuteeka ku Spiderweb awono woogenda okumanya nti Spiderweb y'amaanyi. That's right now abasinga naye bawulira bajja ne tubagambe byokola naye bwe kiba nti someone who's popular najja ku Spiderweb ojja kiraba nti kyamaanyi nnyo. So muganda wange if you would like to join, contact whoever you are seeing this message from or mugambe nti I need to join Spiderweb or bajja kuleeta buleesi mu studio and you will be connected directly to Spiderweb and your page will never be bored again. Ojja kulaba nga buli kumakya okeera buli saawa buli dakiika buli 10 minutes buli 5 minutes buli kinga amawulire gakutuukako ate agaffe gabeera tugasiimula bulungi. Omanya amatanga gali pure agaffe tugasiimula bulungi. Ba bloggers bonna twegattawamu alina obubaka bwayisaawo n'ayisaawo alina message gyayisaawo n'ayisaawo naye amawulire gaffe to making sure nti gali pure si bya propaganda si byakola ki ffe tusigala nga ffe tuleeta sinti just mawulire goka but nenjigiriza what do we need to teach Ugandans kye balina okola ebyo byokka bikulu. Kati Museveni mwe mulowooza nti Spiderweb is an effect of sending out communication. Museveni already agikozesa bakozesa Spiderweb naye bagikozesa muki mu kweja emikutu gyabwe nti Museveni when he's going to come live buli communication yonna mu Uganda abiblockinga nti ye kenyini nasigala nga ali mu communicating. That is what they call a Spiderweb communication effect. Nti oyinza omusanga bwabaze ku live ku NBS, BBS, simanyi biki, Al-Shabaab, zi channels zonna, FBI, buli kimu kyonna abayagala nti bonna buli nsi yonna emulabe naye tetubifaako. Kati naffe we have to fight with the same effect nti Spiderweb atuleetera eno simanyi nti biki naffe ne tugatta ne tubaleetera Spiderweb yaffe naye nga eyaffe ya digital si bino bya kumanipulatinga simanyi nti osasula ono simanyi okoleki. Studio nzigule studio ya bwerere studio sijja kusaba yadde n'ekikumi nti jangu otwegateko ku mugundi mu Spiderweb oba muki ya bwerere era tekubangako n'akulimba nti simanyi nti ffe tusaba sente okuteeka okugatta ku studio mugundi mu Spiderweb. Nedda tekubanga kakulimba. Everything is for free gwokikolera ku nsi yo nga naffe twakikola ku lw'ensi yaffe tubitaddemu sente mu byuma buli kimu kyonna. So anything as long as ng'oyagala ensi yo ojja kikola. Bw'oba nga toyagala muganda wange kaakano akacupa tubonge ekisigadde nze simanyi. I've passed on all my messages. Homework atubalekedde, we have left you homework. Yiyo baganda baffe already bali mu kutweetinga at UN humanitarian. This is like the humanitarian UN, so we need to notify anything that has to do with UN, even though this has to do with like Ethiopia naye balina okola ki balina okimanya because they even tagged UN, so they need to know what exactly is going on. Naye Twitter warriors baffe nze maliriza, and I think Afande Masaba is going to be coming live anytime soon. Olo nze ntemye, me I am peacing off, I am gone. Or peace out, I guess. Not peace off. Peace off is getting angry. Okay. Alright. Abasigadde mwabamanyi. Mwabali quiet tujja kwesanga. Kanyongeze ka volume mulirize ku ka music akasembayo olwo tugire. Tugende.
Mpola Patrico ngovimbye nnyo kati singa obadde MP wandibadde naye lindako kakubiramuko omuziki kabe ngukubira ba MP bannange nga tuli eri njagala okwebaza ba MP abalwanirira omuziki kana kayimba bakayita kyalenga kana kayimba twakayimba mu nnimi eza Uganda 10 newankubadde bakagana naye tekayina buzibu kankakubiremu ai amaaso go buli wengalaba nze yasisansha mulekaje nendoza mulekaje yuwama ne kuba dance ngamba olabika nga tampenda baby manya buli joyenda tekikuwa katikirira one day you say it is on the kanya another day you say it is in one day you say it is on the parakana mama okay. Chimala kadi Pola Yes sir. Mama sanyi sokola bako mama tuliyemu dance kachali wange kandiyemu dance ne mama tuliye dance na jaja chalenga kugambe chalenga jaja singana linyina okawoka nandibadde wachi jaja chalenga mulindeko neda jaja tuvuno tuzinireko kabaka jaja mbutufu omaka gwedeko jaja gano gasaba sajja chalenga jaja chalenga singana li naye jaja kuba dance sawa sajja tulaba kugambe chalenga jaja webale nnyo jaja yenza batolobera kuba n'abalala Nebola bando kopyange ya miraka sidima nyinga mukwano Nebole tazingule dazi katapira wano tonzi jao Nebole tabirole vyati agasi Nebole tabirole vyati agasi Nebole tabirole vyati agasi wano tonzi jao Nebole tabirole vyati agasi Sibaulira Nebole tabirole vyati agasi Eranda ira muganyabo kenda ide Eranda ira muganyabo Yetuka na ye Ngambe chalenga Puro Mwebale nyo Mwebalire ddala Mwebale kuma mirembe Mwebale kubeera bampisa Lindako. Okay. Kakati muwulirize bakyali bange. Njagala nnyo tukuwe omuziki naye nga tuguyigamu. Mwana mukume emirembe mukume empisa bakyali bange. Tusobole okulaga ekifaananyi ekirungi kuba bangi baagala tulaba nga abakozi ba ffujjo basobole otukolako effujjo. Mwekuume tutekewo ekifaananyi ekyaffe twagala ensi tulabe nga bwe twagala batulabe. Naki era omwaka ogujja njagala muleme kugwamu ssuubi buli omu abeere n'essuubi. Lazima olutalo nga luwedde tugenda kwambala engule. Kapiteni Nubiani, come here, Hildaman. Buli omu ateka omukono gwe waggulu bw'oti bw'obanga okkiriza tojja kulaba kwenunula mu bulamu bwo ng'okyali ku nsi kuno. Wanika omukono gwo waggulu bw'obanga okkiriza teggwanga lyaffe lisobola okutereera nga tetuyiye musaayi. Olutalo nga luwedde tuliyambala engule tuliyambale ngule olutalo galuwedde tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda empya. Eddie Awe, that's the music. Tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule olutalo galuwedde tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda empya. Tuliyambala, tuliyambala, tuliyambala engule zimasa masa olutalo galuwedde tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda empya. Jikube yendama yaga ini yawe ubabo yo agambya atya olutalo galuwedde tuliyambale ngule ayi tuliyambale ngule tuliyambale ngule olutalo galuwedde tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda tuliyambala tuliyambala engule zimasa olutalo galuwedde tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda obusosoze nga buwedde tuliyambale ngule obutoto ngule tuliyambale ngule nekibataka nga kiwedde tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda empya. Tuliyambala tuliyambala engule zimasamasa olutalo galuwedde tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda empya. Otiyagasi ngawedde tuliyambale ngule obwana kyebalira nga buwedde tuliyambale ngule.
Okay, bannayuganda nga tumaliriza temwerabira kuba kweyenamba temwerabira okuba kweyenamba. Twetaaga kulaba nti Fred Lumbuye afunye obuyambi okuva mu UN Protective Officer mu ndoza ekitongole ekikulu kiri mu America yene enamba yaabwe eya main office mu America. So abalina obusobozi mugezeeko mukube kweyenamba mulabe nti muganda waffe afunye obuyambi. So I will leave the number on the screen for 1 minute and you can try to call it. Mwebale olonga amaliriza.
Osobola okwebereramu n'okukyusa ebikunyiga ago amaanyi tugalina kuba people bawangirwa bude tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda tuliyambala engule zimasamase ebukawangirwa bude tuliyambale ngule tulivimba mu Uganda olutalo galuwedde tuliyambale ngule olutalo galuwedde bimbeya kasembayo tulivimba mu Uganda. Sir, tweyanza nnyo.